Well, there goes the day. No, wrong thing. The Daverhood, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to you live on this Saturday, June 27th, 2026. I am Dave Lefkowitz, the founder and producer and host of this long-running, semi-inflated program called Dave's Gone By. It's a mix of humor and nonsense and airy, no, that didn't make it, shows that we've been doing since October of 2002. And, it's all about my life, my madness, my nonsense, other things that we do on every single program that we have been doing 1,037 previous times. This is, honest to God, our 1,038th show. We started in New York on Long Island, and then we moved for a while to Colorado, and then back to New York, and we've been now, last couple of years, we have been in lovely Maryland, which is where we work and live. And so every Saturday morning from northern Maryland, northern Baltimore, technically, we come to you doing this program. And this show, this episode is going to be particularly Baltimore, or well, not even, Maryland-centric, because we spent a couple of days this week on vacation, not quite a staycation, we didn't stay home, but we stayed in our home state of Maryland and went to a place called Havre de Grace. Havre, NAGILA, Havre, that's kind of the name of this episode. Getting Havre. Havre de Grace, which is harbor of something, gracious or graceful harbor here in Maryland. So we needed to get away. We took a quick, nice hotel, almost B&B, but it was still sort of a hotel-y B&B.
It wasn't a hotel. It was like
what would you call it?
An inn.
An inn. It was an inn, which really hit the spot.
Right, but inn is different because it was it's like a place where people get married, a Victorian building.
That too, yeah. There are a few guest rooms. Shall we say the name of the place?
Yeah.
Well, it was a lovely little, not so little, former mansion of the town mayor called, the place was called the Vandiver Inn. Woohoo! You're right, it was an inn. Exactly, it was an inn. I don't know why I went out on that one, because it was an inn. Oh, the comedy I do. So, just again, also for my wife's birthday a week or so ago, it was kind of just nice to have some time together in a small, pretty town, which this honestly was. So part of what we're going to do on the show today is just talk about our experiences, our trip, which literally, it was a 46-hour trip, like from getting there to getting back. But we did a lot, and we saw a lot, and I ate a lot, because that's what I do. So we'll talk about Havre de Grace, Maryland, on this episode of Dave's Gone By. We also have other things to do. We will, speaking of Colorado, where we lived for a bunch of years, we will have what we've now been calling non-GREELEY times. Interesting how the segment has had to morph again and again and again. When we first started it, a decade or so ago, it was called GREELEY Crimes and Old Times, because it was a mix of two different recurring articles in Colorado's Greeley Tribune newspaper. One of them was called, and even they've changed the name of the article, but it was a column called Cop Log, which rounded up from the police blotter ridiculous reasons that people would call the cops on things they were seeing in their neighborhood. So, like, a horse just pooped over my fence, they would call the police. Yeah. Which said something nice, actually, about Greeley, Colorado, that was considered major crimes unit thing. Horses pooping and, ducks being caught in the road and such. So they gathered up the funniest ones of these and put them in a weekly column in the newspaper. And then we would go through those. Plus...
You have your phone.
No, I don't. It's in my it's in my room or in my pants. There was another column that they were doing, and oh my God, I'm so sorry. He became a friend of the Daverhood. One of the writers at the paper there.
Mike.
Yes, Mike, I'm forgetting his name, but he had another column where he snipped out articles that had been in the Tribune 100 years earlier that week. Mike Peters, thank you. Yeah, Mike Peters. He would be cutting up, not physically, but the newspaper had the archives of 18, what would it have been? Sort of no, my brain isn't working. Like, 1912 or 1914 or whatever.
Didn't he write about some major crime and they solved it, and then he put something in the book that wasn't right? He had to put an addendum.
Yeah, that was he was a journalist. He was a serious journalist in the early part of his career. I think it was Colorado, but it might have been Kansas or somewhere else. And he wrote a book about the biggest, most important case that he was writing about a murder. Yeah. And he published it, and that was cool. But his main gig as a much older man was doing these silly columns, fun columns. He had one called The Gnarly Trombone in the Trib, which was just his musings on life, anecdotal stuff, like Russell Baker kind of things. But he also did 100 years ago, pulling out things that to our modern eyes were kind of funny and silly and nostalgic for Greeley 100 years earlier, as they were printing in the paper then. So we got the best of those and called it Greeley Crimes in All Times. Then he stopped doing one of the columns, he slowed down, then he died. But someone took over Coplog. So the 100 years ago went away, Coplog stayed for years and years. And most recently, Andrea Grajeda has been putting those together weekly in the Trib. Well, as I mentioned, I contacted Andrea. Now I have to get a shot to get rid of it. I contacted her a week or so ago and said, hey, sometimes I know you guys go on vacation, Coplog disappears for 2, 3, sometimes a month at a time. What's happening? And she's like, no, this isn't on us. The police in Greeley are short-staffed. And so one of the things that they're saving money and time on is not having someone compile these things, send the police blotter over to us and public information. Mm-hmm. You can do a Cora if you want. You can request the records if you want to do it. No. So what's happened is there's no more old times.
You should do it and then send it to the Trib.
That would be cool. And then they could print it.
Tell them, pay me, I'll do it.
I wonder if the Greeley Tribune has money to pay for that. Yeah. But so the Greeley items have dribbled down to a nubbins. We got literally 2 left. After next week, there's no more Greeley criminality, except like the usual, real, actual, serious crimes that go on there occasionally. So what the hell are we going to do?
I don't know.
Well, the good news is because there's another website called Shepherd Express.
Cry.
And I will cry. I've been crying all week about this. UPI and New York Post, they'll also carry news of the weird, ridiculous, crazy news stories.
Articles in the Post are that.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, that's the editorializing they do. So they will intentionally carry stories that make you go, oh, you got to be kidding. I love stories like that. They're real. They're true. What was that? But they're ridiculous. So we'll still...
My person was eating seed. I have a fear of speed bumps. I'm slowly getting over it. My brother called me, what days are the strongest? I'm reading a horror story in Braille. Something bad's going to happen. I can feel it. What's orange and sounds like a parrot? A carrot. I don't trust stairs. They're always up to something. Why did the partially blind man, what do you call a man with no arms and no... I asked my wife if I was the only one she'd been with. She said yes, all the others had been 9s and 10s.
I didn't hear that one. That's good. I asked my wife if I'm the only one she's been with, and she said, yeah, the others were all 9s and 10s.
Oh, God.
Comedy, ladies and gentlemen. Hilarious comedy. Well, we'll use this when we decide what order the
segments.
The segments will go. So all of this is trying to tell you
What
that.
did she just say?
Huh?
She just said something.
Oh, I didn't hear it. I was talking. Hold on. Mm. She said no about something. I have no idea what it was. Stop it! Okay, but we're not getting rid of the segment completely. We've just had to rename it Non-GREELEY Times because we have a lot of ridiculous news stories to share with you. They're just not from the Greeley Tribune and they're not from Greeley, Colorado at all. So I was thinking of calling it News Gone Nuts or whatever, but no, Non-GREELEY Times it is for the foreseeable future. And we will be doing Non-GREELEY Times on this very episode, our 1038th of Dave's Gone By. Plus, what else we have? Speaking of Colorado, while we were living there, I got it into my head to write a poem about as many places in Colorado as I could. I don't know why. Because I could. Half the things in my life are, why do you do that? Well, because I could. And the thing was to rhyme 3 times the name of the town, city, municipality in Colorado with other words and create a limerick about them. And not just a limerick, a 5-line cute poem, amusing poem. But make it amusing in a dark, disgusting, sick, depraved Dave way. And that's why we call them the Colorado Limericks of the Damned. This week, we go to Copper Mountain. To live on Copper Mountain. I'll tell you about Copper Mountain. And the color. Oh, with the barkers on the. Go figure. I reach for and the non-colored balloons for Non-GREELEY Times. Oh well. So 2 Colorado items for you, even though we're a Maryland-based show these days. Plus, we have some other fun things to do for you. The one, the only, the great Rabbi Sol Solomon. He usually does our interviews on the show. We don't have any interviews, no special guests this week. That's okay. Sol has other things on his mind, other things to do. Speaking of stories that were in the New York Post and then picked up everywhere else, there's a coffee shop in Brooklyn. Surprise! 4 billion coffee shops in Brooklyn that aren't even Starbucks. Little outposts that want to do, what do they call those special, each one thinks their coffee is the best and they're fair trade and this roast that and then, real hipstery, gentrifying Brooklyn kind of coffee shop. Fine. So there's this one particular coffee establishment out in Brooklyn, and that is part of a small, actual local coffee chain in New York and environs. And this particular one, a guy who was running for Congress in New York stopped in. And his daughter wanted a beverage or something, or he wanted to wash his hands. And, you don't go into a place to wash your hands and pee without ordering something, so order coffee and so forth. And then he ordered a coffee. They charged him, he tipped, blah, blah, blah. And then they recognized him. And his name, I think, is Dan Goldman, congressman. And he was running up against a couple of other people on the Democratic Party side of the primaries. And when they recognized him, the owner, the manager of this coffee establishment, refunded his thing and wrote this whole thing that he posted on Facebook and told the guy and said, no, representative, whatever you are, Goldman, I know who you are. And you are a genocide enabler. And you're insanely pro-Israel. And you're funded by AIPAC. We don't serve you here. Don't come back. This is what the coffee shop said to him. He got free coffee out of the deal. But point is, this, as you might expect, set off yet another back and forth firestorm in the joyous anti-Semitism that's raging across America for the past bunch of months. And Goldman didn't post this on his book. The coffee shop posted their message to him on their, proudly saying, we don't fund these kinds of people. We don't want them in our woke, egalitarian Alphabet City store. Well, New York Post got wind of it, as the New York Post does, ran with the story. This got all the Jews all head up, as you would expect. And this also consolidated all the people who think that they're fighting for freedom when they're pro-Palestine, pro-whatever. And now, 2 days later, there's protests raging back and forth outside the coffee shop. I think they got closed for the day. And, of course, there's people who are like, I'm going to that coffee shop now. They have true moral values. And Jews are like, how do you go to the coffee shop? It's horribly racist, bigoted, it's anti-Semitism, blah, blah, blah. Go figure. Rabbi Sol Solomon has his thoughts on the whole controversy that exploded over this Poetica, that's their fucking name, Poetica coffee shop out in Brooklyn, New York. So his latest, his 211th rabbinical reflection will be taking to task the muddy brew that they serve at this coffee place. Don't miss Rabbi Sol later on on this episode of the Dave's Gone By show. Plus, if that weren't enough, if we have time, I'm going to show you my bunions. Maybe. We'll see how that goes. Amazing how that's the beauty of this show. It's like we flip to rage and anti-Semitism to, let me show you my foot. Yeah. We will also, yes, story time. We're going to do story time. Today's story that we will read part of, maybe the whole thing. There is a carrot in my ear, and other noodle tales, retold by Alvin Schwartz, speaking of someone who probably is Jewish, pictures by Karen Ann Weinhaus, who's either German or Jewish, but meet the silliest family in the world. Let's see just how silly they are. I'll read the book with you, to you, probably make fun of it a little bit. Whatever it is, there's a carrot in my ear. Yeah, a hair-raising tale. Again, it's a kind of a rabbit joke. Plus, if that isn't enough, and by gosh, don't you think it ought to be, I have a brand new song to share with you. Thank you, dear. I got it. A brand new song in the Daverhood this week. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not a song that was begging to be parodied, and yet this has been happening to me week after week recently. Oh, thank you. In the Daverhood. Just in recent weeks, where I'll finish my day, I'll go to bed, I'll be reading, I'll be in bed, and a song will pop into my head that I haven't heard for a while, and then out of nowhere, I'll think of a really tasteless, sick thing to do with it. And I'll think of the chorus or something. And then the next day, it all comes to me. I work on it, I finish it, and sometimes record it. That happened again this particular week. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a brand new song. Now, you all know the classic song. This sounds exactly like that. It's the first time ever I saw your face. You know the number? I didn't realize that was written. I knew it was written by Ewan McCall, who was this folk singer, I think of Scottish origin, back in 1957. I had no idea the song was that old. As a matter of fact, it was written for his either girlfriend or became his wife, or she was already his wife, Peggy Seeger, when he was with her. People didn't really know the song until 1970, maybe two, when Roberta Flack recorded it, did a beautiful version, the version that we all know, of The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face. Well, and it's a lovely song. My dad had the album First Take by Roberta Flack. That's on there with a Leonard Cohen song that she did. So, really nice album. I hadn't thought of the song in a while. And then it came into my head, and I was like, and sometimes I try to stop it. Sometimes I sit there and say, Dave, why are you going to tarnish?
What's the Demento version?
Well, the version that I've written to the same melody as Ewan McCall.
Yes.
The title is The First Time Ever. Okay, it's
Yes.
the first time. I'm keeping that. I'm keeping the melody line. But what blasted into my head one evening, probably, I think it was when we were on vacay, was the first time ever I rode your face. So It's a song of the physical, the sexual side of romance. With, of course, a lot of a kink. It's really disgusting, but I will play it. I recorded it this week. The first time ever, the first time ever I rode your face. We'll be hearing that. It will be debuting on this episode of Dave's Comment. Aren't you glad you tuned in, ladies and gentlemen? My wife is sitting there, her head in her hands. You know, she's like, I sit here, I help him with his show. Meanwhile, he's on there saying controversial things about the Middle East, and he's doing these sick limericks that are depraved. He's writing these unbelievably sick, tasteless songs about sex. And what else is he's pulling the socks off his feet and showing his bunions. This is what I am married to. Yes, hon, it's what you're married to. And if there's time, we can get my phone or not, but if there's time, we can also do Dave's Big Dick Shenari. So, a lot of things to do on this episode of the show, but the main one, at least for the first part of the program, is to share the fact that we went away. Show and tell. And I even have some pictures that I can share screen and share with you to show about our trip to Havre, or I guess it would be Havre if it were really French, Havre de Grace. And we do pronounce the S sound because it's grace like grace. Havre de Grace in Maryland, which, you know, is less than an hour's drive, actually, from where we live. We wanted to do a small vacation, a local thing, not get on a plane, not go overseas, not get on Amtrak or anything. Just have a nice place away and a place on water. Because a couple of weeks ago, we were in Rehoboth Beach, and that was really nice to see the ocean there. And where else did we go? We were in, I think, Norfolk, Virginia last year.
A while ago. No, don't.
Close your eyes. Close your eyes. I know, but I gotta get this out. Oh boy! If you're good, I'm not showing it, but it's okay. You can. I might do my old phlegm, because I just finally coughed up my morning phlegm today. You can hear it. You can hear how clear my pipes are now. Oh, I feel it in my handkerchief. It's in there. Sometimes I do my old phlegm, where not only do I show my bunions at another time in the program, but I actually open up, show my phlegm, and then try to read it like tea leaves. So if I had my old phlegm, if I knew that was happening, I wouldn't even need this. But we're not going to do that. What?
Outlook is good.
Outlook is good. Well, all right. We're probably not going to do.
Maybe you should get a hearing aid.
What? Anyway, Havre de Grace, Maryland, which is this not so small town, but very walkable town with a pier, a boardwalk, all the way along the water, which we walked a couple of times, and it is quite lovely. And we also really lucked out, because when we came, it was a rainy day, but not horribly stormy, thunder and lightning. It was just, it took the heat down. So it started when we got there very muggy, but it the rain came down in a very pleasant way. So our first night there, because we came in the late afternoon, we went around and got a little bit wet, but it was still pleasant to be around, pleasant to go along the water, pleasant to see the sunset, more than pleasant, sometimes quite beautiful. Interesting things that you do when you're perambulating around the pier. Is it a pier or a boardwalk or the promenade? They call it.
French.
Is on all the signs, on all the lights. It looks like the paint is peeling. You're like, why is the paint just running off the sign, off a light pole, off of this? And you get a little closer, and you realize that ain't paint. That's probably thousands, if not millions, of mayflies. I was wondering what they're not talking about. They're in the same sort of family. They're these long, somewhat needly things, but they don't sting. They're harmless. But they cluster to the point where if there's one, you suddenly look and there's like 1,000 of them, just hanging there, just like. And they live for about 3-4 days. I don't understand. It was late June.
Yeah.
So why there are still mayflies in late June? There should be June flies, or at the very least June bugs.
Oh.
Are there July?
They were delayed.
Are there July bees or August hoppers? I'm wondering about that. But so that was a little. At first, it's funny. I wasn't even creeped out by them because I'm very scared of bees and hornets.
Sting.
They don't. But dragonflies on a pool, I still get a little
Really?
creeped out by because there's.
You like the boop ones.
Oh, the fireflies I love, and
You
they.
dropped your cushy.
Oh no, thank you.
Fireflies.
Fireflies don't scare me at all. I love fireflies. This is one of the things I like to do when I'm not on the air. This is why I belong in a mental institution, ladies and gentlemen, because a fun thing for me, when the sun goes down and it starts to get dark, you just look out into the backyard or wherever you are, and when the fireflies start lighting up, when you see one, you have to point at it and go boop, boop, boop. And at first, it's a very occasional, because the light is just changing and they're not phosphorescent yet. So you go, you're scanning the yard, and then you see it, boop, boop. Oh, no, wait, that was a lamppost. Boop. And then you get all the fireflies coming out. You go boop, 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 boop. And I could do this. How long have I done this for? 5 hours? Days. I've spent days doing this. But it is actually fun for a couple of minutes. Try it. Try it. I've done this with my wife. I've done this with friends that we've had where we've looked out in the yard and go boop, 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 boop.
Colleagues when they come for conferences.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. When presidents have stayed at our house. I dropped the crystal ball that went off the thing.
I'm going to get your phone.
Yeah.
I can't get out.
Here's the crystal ball thing.
That's for you.
Dignitaries of state, incredibly famous actors and world leaders have come to crash in our living room because I can't let them use our bedroom. It's our bedroom. So when they come, one of the things they have to do is A, bring Entenmann's, and B, come up to the yard and look at the fireflies and go boop, 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 boop. And then we all have great, great fun. And very often they leave before dawn so they don't have to see me in the morning. But it's fine. It's fun. So there was firefly booping, but also a ton of mayflies. But I wasn't scared of them. They're annoying-ish, but they don't bother you at all. You go near them, they're not like bees or wasps that look at you and go like, ah. They're more like,
David,
leave me alone, leave me alone.
Now you have two.
Yeah, I don't know why I got that second bar on there on
Get rid of
my
it for
phone.
you, okay?
So yeah,
Get rid of it.
but that was
Oh no.
the only I don't want to say negative, but sort of weird, unexpected part of our visit to Havre de Grace. Otherwise, you look on these piers on the waters. There's something. It is true. There is really something beautiful about a sailboat on the bay. There are other kinds of boats, and not big giant ships, because this was not the ocean, this was the bay. But just to see a ship in beautiful weather, a sailboat, beautiful weather, skimming across the water, it's just a lovely look. It's why they make crossword puzzles out of that kind of scene. And if I were a crossword puzzle maker, if I were Milton and or Bradley, I would go to Havre de Grace and go, here, this, the lighthouse. And yes, there is a lighthouse. We were there.
You want to show the pictures?
Oh, I got pictures on here. Yeah.
You have pictures of all the things you're taught, and you have those mayflies on the potato sign.
Yes. All right. Let me do it. Let me share I need my glasses to see what the hell I'm doing, because I'm blind and half deaf. Here, share screen. Yeah, da 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 da. Yeah, da 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 da. Yeah, da 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 da. Yeah, da 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 da. All right. So I guess I'll do picture by picture, and that will cue me and cue you guys as to what we did. So let's open some of these pictures up. Oh, this is okay. So this is at the Vandiver Inn. You can even see their phone number there. A little bit of advertisement for them. And I don't mind advertising for them. It was a very nice place and a very lovely stay. But this is when you first When we first came in, I knew this was going to be a special, nice place to stay because the front area, the place where you check in, you go to this counter, and underneath the counter, there's bottles of Cholula hot sauce and ketchup.
Well, you know who likes that.
As it happened, look who's, do you see me on there? We had Potato with us because we always have Potato with us. Not this particular Potato, but his brother. So Potato was unbelievably thrilled. Granted, this was red gold ketchup.
Why don't you show the whole screen?
Because I would keep having to toggle back and forth to hit the other things. Okay, I can make it bigger. There.
Do what you want.
Okay. So, but there's Potato, as you can see, and he's having a wonderful time. He was hoping it would have simply Heinz, or he's trying to lose a little weight, the no salt Heinz.
Wow.
But the red gold was perfectly good. And one of the nice things about Havre de Gras, or the Bandiver Inn, which is where we were staying, is it did come with a free breakfast, which all things considered, considering the price of hotels these days and what you have to pay and blah, 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 they threw in, this wasn't just a breakfast of like,
Was
hey,
the buffet like a cheap, like a Days Inn buffet?
here's yesterday's bagel with a little bit of cream cheese and a coffee. It was a nice spread. You could order, and I did order, waffles, but it wasn't just like, oh, make your own waffle, and they do in these Holiday Inn places. It's like, we'll make you a waffle and it's stuffed with like a cream cheese compote. It was kind of gourmet.
And they had a homemade, the first day a muffin, was it?
Oh, they had scones, like a blueberry scone, which was delicious, along with your breakfast. I mean, it was out there for you as like a grab and go kind of
You
thing.
want to show the image of the little bugs you were talking about? It's on the sign.
I don't know which. I've got 30 here. You can show me on my phone if you want. I've got all the
It should say,
photos lined up on a number.
Potato sign or something is the.
Yeah, no. But all these are labeled DGB1, DGB2. When I downloaded them.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
have my phone, so I don't know.
So I'm just gonna go picture by picture and do it that way. But yummy bread. You like your breakfast. What did you get there? You got eggs
And toast.
and they had coffee. They had cranberry juice. I never want to have cranberry juice at home. I have no desire for it. I know it's good for your bladder or whatever it does, but ocean spray cranberry juice when you're away, when you're in a diner, when you're in another place, the red juices, cranberry and tomato, those are really cool to have when you're not home. Home, I like my mandarin orange juice. I've fallen deeply in love with it. But away, orange juice is great. But, cranberry juice? Weird juice mix thing? Tomato juice, right? There's something special about it when you're getting it elsewhere. So that was kind of cool. And so we were checked in. We had this lovely woman who was like literally stick figure. I know she probably weighed about 60 pounds.
Yeah.
Kind of could have been a model. She had the cheekbones to here. But really sweet, really nice. Showed us to our room, and it's done this. Carolyn, if you're listening, thank you. Lovely way to host the.
She was the innkeeper.
Well, she didn't own the place, but
she was like a manager, like a hotel manager.
Yeah, and the one thing that I was most worried about because it was
Muggy.
humid, really hot and humid outside, and we've been schlepping, and we wanted a nice getaway. And one of the things you like when you walk into a strange place, into a hotel, just like when you're out shopping on a hot summer day, and you're going to a strip mall or a mall or something, you come out, you open the door, and you go into a blast of cool, right? It's just, as my parents would have said, machaya. It's a machaya to come into a room like that.
Yeah.
So we go into our room, which was the Tidings room, named after the guy who was like the mayor and built the whole estate. It was actually a mansion, right? We had the main room in this mansion with a couple of side houses, and we go in, and it's like, ugh. The room is lovely in sort of a very old Victorian-ish style. If you like, I don't think it was your taste. So it was done up like 19th century,
I was afraid there were ghosts.
like a Miss another place where the ghosts were.
There was some hunting, I'm sure.
I liked it. It wouldn't be how I would decorate. It was a little girly for my taste, but it was still comfy. Not shabby chic, but not exactly Great Gatsby chic either. It was just nice, you know? But we go in and I'm like, ugh. And there's one air conditioner, and it's all the way up on the wall. And it's pretty big, but also is a big room with high ceilings, which makes it very pleasant for a hotel room. Almost twice the size of what you get when you stay in a New York hotel, right? Plus the bathroom. The bathroom is the size of what you get if you go to stay in a Midtown Manhattan hotel at a midline range.
Yeah.
So high ceilings, but that also meant that it took us a lot more to cool down and dehumidify a room. So we go in and the air conditioner, this is what scares me. The air conditioner's on and it's running. And I'm like, ugh. I mean, is it going to get... And, you know, Carolyn immediately pops down the thing and says, you know, give it a little. And so already, you know, the Dave negativeometer in me is like, great. We come all the way, not all the way, we come to this place, we want a nice vacation, and we're going to spend half of it schwitzing. We won't want to stay in our rooms because it's too warm in the room. Turns out, that air conditioner was kind of a powerhouse.
Yeah.
And it took about 2-3 hours. But once the room cooled down, and we got it down to she said, don't make it lower than 66 because the wiring in this hotel, this is the other thing about the place. It needs wiring because they can't have a coffee maker in every room. All the other hotels, the excuse, well, it makes a mess, they don't want to deal with it. This place is like, well, if we have a coffee maker in every room, it could blow the circuits of the hotel. Like, okay, fine. And they had one coffee maker in the hallway outside the room for everybody on the floor, and it didn't work. So
And the weirdest thing for me was they had 3 bathrooms downstairs.
3.
Yeah, there were 3 individual bathrooms.
Well, they're LGBT friendly, so I'm guessing, well, a couple of reasons. First of all, maybe men, women,
It just said toilet.
toilet.
Yeah.
And the other is, don't forget, one night we were there,
Oh, yeah.
they have a restaurant there that serves.
That's true.
There's a
No,
re-
that's
so in that, there's a couple of hundred people.
That's
You have that
true.
many, you need more than 1 or 2 bathrooms.
That's true.
Yeah. So, but once the room cooled down, and it did, it was a very pleasant, very nice, old school place to stay with a comfy bed, nice pillows, decent sized TV with cable channels. Remember cable channels? I mean, maybe Buck Hotel still have cable channels. And we're like, okay, this is, and closets. Not just like a little place to hang stuff, but 2
You have
closets.
images of them when you go show people.
Oh yeah, right, yeah. So I keep hanging, showing this one particular photo. Let's move forward. This is the second picture. Oh, this is Potato. Potato was on vacation too, enjoying ketchup. So did you ask your brother Potato how he liked the ketchup? He was like, oh, he said it was mighty fine, and I told him no, that's a pudding, and then we argued. Okay, sorry, but is mighty fine still a pudding? Do they still make
I
that?
don't know what that. I've never heard that.
You never heard of mighty fine pudding?
No.
Oh, it's what they used to make pudding out of.
Can't you just make it big and go image by image, go forward? Don't you have a little?
Oh, I bet I do. Let me try
Yeah.
that. Let me see if that'll work.
Yeah.
Oh, except this is not like Facebook. No, I can't do that.
No, just make that picture with the potato big for a second.
All right, here we go. So the potato is big. There's no place to click.
On the side?
They're individuals. These are individual files.
You can't
and a
go
list.
side to side, yeah. that's a
No, it
shame.
doesn't work like that.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you, Mr. Nasty.
Here's our next image. So this, don't you love you come to watch a program and you get a slideshow, but here is the lighthouse. That's me standing in front of it. One of the other negative things about going to Havre de Grace early in the week, because we came in on a Monday and stayed till Wednesday, is that everything opens Thursday through Sunday, especially over the weekend. Because it's like a beach town, they don't expect a lot of touristy traffic early in the week. Everybody comes in for the weekend. But we were there earlier, so half the museums, most of the museums, half the restaurants don't even bother to open on Monday and Tuesday. So you get to see the lighthouse and stand in front of it, but you can't actually go into the lighthouse. So but it's a pretty little thing. Struck me as not that tall, considering it's a lighthouse. Considering boats need to see it, and it's smaller than the tree that's right next to it.
Yes.
So I'm a little surprised by that. But anyway, on to our next picture. That's just me. And yes, I'm wearing the Rehoboth shirt that we got when we were at Rehoboth. But this is the pier. This is the right around. We wanted to catch the light at around sunset, and a little boat there. This is what Havre de Grace, right on the water, the promenade, looks like. So if you can look away from the ugly guy standing in front of it, this is what you see when you're walking along that pier. Kinda nice. Next. Again, this is just me being me. And you can see you just...
And those were probably near the Decla Museum.
Oh,
We have pictures of that, yes, I know.
We'll get to
I
that.
think
I don't think
I
we
like
took
that.
pictures of the museum, though.
Yes, I have a picture of you with the guys, the stick fit, the mannequins.
Oh, you do? Good. Okay, good.
Remember
We'll,
you?
we'll get there.
Yes, don't worry. You'll see it, you'll remember.
And this is, yes, we couldn't help ourselves. We couldn't resist. So on our second night in town, we went out to dinner at, it was Cooper's. First night we went to Coakley's.
Yes.
So we can talk about that. Coakley's
Well,
was,
you have pictures of stuff, I think, don't you?
I don't know if we took
You're
pictures.
actually going in reverse order, so you're going from the last night. You're going
Oh,
backward.
So I can,
So, yeah,
I'll go
maybe
upward.
See, yeah, just
Yeah.
see like what's there before you.
Let me
Go
let me go back
reverse
from the top then.
order. Yeah.
So these are the first that was this one.
I can't see.
It won't open. Hold on, let it open. Come on, open up. No. Oh, crap. Okay, no, that's the, I'll get that later. That's the video. Stop it. Here we go. Oh, I just had this one. This was our local library. This is not, they did not have a dinosaur infestation at Havre de Grace.
Wow.
This is our local library having some kind of, I guess, Jurassic Park
It's the summer,
9.
like it's dinosaur theme
Yeah.
summer, and all the searches and the kids could search in the library for dinosaur related stuff. So you found that they actually had a dinosaur captive.
Yeah, so I'm calling attention to the fact that this poor dinosaur, which can't even get at the plant
No.
that he's so hungry for, that's not going to go well.
I think the child that reads the most books gets to keep the dinosaur. I don't know
Oh,
if that's true. They get the shirts.
they got the shirts. Yeah, the
Wow,
shirts are
that's
cool.
cute, right? I like that. That's very cute.
So that was a week ago. I just wanted to throw that picture in. When did we get to? And then, of course, we were at a restaurant. Was this at Coakley's?
I can't see.
Oh, yeah. I realize there's a delay.
No, that was, we had a buy one, get one free at,
Oh, First Watch.
yes.
Yes. Yes, we had a coupon for First Watch, and we used it. And First Watch has real ketchup made.
Yes.
Oh my God! Look at it! Look at it, Daddy! Look at it! Do you have any Kleenex? All right, Potato. Okay. Oh, the Screaming Goat, of course. So now we move to the next one. We're gonna get to Albert. Oh, here's another one. The dinosaur. Come on. And here's another of me with ketchup. It's a good picture of me, even better picture with the ketchup. At some point, we get to Havre de Grace. Oh, yes! Here we go. This is the reason I'm explaining these things. Thank goodness I did not have any kind of medical condition when we were on this trip.
You love that.
But when you walk down the Union Street or Union Avenue in Havre de Grace, the main street, the street where the hotel is on.
Market?
It was near Market. It was near Washington. A lot of places named after late presidents. They have this enormous sign
I guess so when you're driving by, you see it and you know where to park.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I went to, when we got back, I had some problems with my computer, and I went to a computer place locally here in Northern Maryland, and I wanted to find the place. I knew the address.
Yeah, you couldn't find where
I
to
knew
park.
the number, and I was like, and there's a giant sign for this place, but they haven't fixed it in like 30 years. So it looks like it used to be neon, but the letters are half broken off, which should give me a clue. And I go past it, I go back around. Oh, there it is. But if you're looking for the urology clinic in Havre de Grace,
Oh, you know where to go.
you're gonna find it.
There is no question of where to go with that.
You are going to find urology right there. So there's that.
Isn't it funny? It doesn't look spelled right. You know, one of those words when you see it.
I know it should be like EUR or something. Yeah. And then one of the cute things they have that when you first start the walk of the promenade, there's a children's
That was
play
the
area.
playground. That was your friend.
We never named him
Another
though.
dinosaur. You like the dinosaurs, apparently.
Uh,
But like you took a picture when we were in D.C. with the rooster. Remember we found the blue rooster?
yes.
So I don't know what he is. He's Dino? What
He's a
is
green
dinosaur?
dino. Yeah.
Dino. He's green.
So he's
What about Havre de Green?
Oh, Havre de Green, there he is. so
Green.
so that was our first afternoon walking. It was already starting to rain, but it was really nice to see. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Oh, and we were in at the hotel, what they call the Tidings Room. The whole park was named after this guy who was a very well-off mayor who had the,
Oh, nice.
had the mansion
That
there.
was the name of our room.
Yeah, the Tidings Room, and here was the whole park named after him. Tidings Memorial Park, that's me. Me in front. Okay. What else? Open up you. Oh, okay, here we go. This is what you were mentioning before.
It takes me a while. I still can't see.
Yeah, I know,
so
you got,
You just talk about it, then I'll see it when it comes up.
So this requires some, I'm going to unshare for
Oh
a minute.
boy,
Yeah.
there's two of them. I think there's a bunch like that.
Yeah, I'm going to go on camera for again and get back to that. What we're looking at right there is one of the museums.
I'm gonna make your thing for today. I Heart Decoy Museum.
Yeah. One of the few museums that is actually open in Havre de Grace on Mondays and Tuesdays, as opposed to like later in the week or just the weekends, is a museum that is completely and solely dedicated to the making and preservation of duck decoys. These are the ducks that duck hunters use to kind of put out there, attract real ducks so they can blast their heads off and eat them. And as my wife is a vegetarian. I'm a total omnivore. I love duck. I make duck in the crock pot. I tried a couple of times making it in an air fryer. I love duck, so I've got nothing against this at all. What does boggle the mind is that the Havre de Grace Duck Decoy Museum is larger and newer and better, more stocked.
Detailed.
Detailed.
It's clean. It's got
It,
and the chairs were your lazy boy chair, and the
yes,
loved it. It was like 7 of them, right?
well, they had an upstairs place where you can do conferencing, and all the kind of chair that I like that I bought from Lazy Boy, as my wife said. Mine is a little bit nicer, but it has these nice new Lazy Boy
They had
chairs.
7 of them or 6.
Yeah,
of them.
right around the table. But
I mean, they had brought a conference room.
the shock of this place is just how much square footage is devoted. Because this building could house an elementary school, or an elementary school like second grade.
Elementary school, you think?
No, maybe 2. Or okay, maybe a kindergarten through seconds. This place was because when you hear about a museum of decoy ducks,
Yes.
you would figure, oh, okay, it's like these museums where you go to a big city and there's like a crawl space and they've got 15 shelves of something. And it's like this and this. Remember we went to a museum of like oddity things in California?
Oh, yeah.
And, it's this tiny little store and you walk around and half the thing is a gift shop so they can stay open. And this is,
Yeah,
no,
that's true.
this is like a beautiful complex facility with 2 floors devoted entirely.
And a balcony that faces the promenade.
Yes.
That was,
Yeah, because you see the water from, yeah, of
I'm
course
sure
you could.
people get married in there because that you could take beautiful. Imagine the wedding party facing the promenade, right? Promenade.
Yeah, but you would do that at the Vanderbilt Inn. Why would you do that at a duck decoy museum?
It's probably cheaper.
Oh, maybe,
I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know if it's a public decoy museum, but you could probably.
But I kid you not,
Yeah, I don't know.
hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of square feet
Yes.
devoted to this one
Yes.
thing. So if you go into a room, there's just shelves and shelves of painted decoy ducks of different sizes. Some I makes sense. A couple would make of cork, which would with Bob on the Water. That makes a lot of them, almost all of them made from wood. You go into one room, shelves upon shelves of decoy ducks. You go into another room, more decoy ducks. How? Where did the money come from? Who devotes this enormous building, comparatively, to ducks and also to some extent duck hunters, well, or duck makers? Because the other thing is has interviews or stories about these old white guys, back in 20s, 30s, 40s South, who, what, Mama Roma's Deli?
Look at your what I put for your.
Oh, hold on.
I put for your tag. I heart the Decoy Museum.
Thank you, dear. I don't necessarily heart the Decoy Museum. It was pleasant, like if it were a hot, miserable day, it would have been nice to walk into because they're well air conditioned and well appointed. But we're just wandering around and it becomes more and more ridiculous. Like, it's just rows and rows of ducks. And it's not as if there are special stories with each one like you would get with a painting at the Metropolitan Museum or MoMA. It's just like, here's a duck, here's another duck, here's another. I think, did they even have dates on all of them?
No.
Like when they were caught? No, it's just rows of ducks. Right? And then a couple of film strips about the duck makers, like these old guys. There was one interesting story about one guy who, there was a very good black craftsman of decoy ducks. And back in the day, he had a friend who was a white guy, also a maker of ducks, and the white guy would put his name on the black guy's ducks so that they would sell. It's kind of like the Allen movie, the Alan Ritt movie, the Front, Marty Ritt movie, where you put your name on a script so they're not blacklisted, literally. So that was kind of interesting of what they had to do back in the day in the South to make a living. So that was somewhat interesting, this vision of these older guys. But I'm telling you, I'm going to share my screen again, because one of the things they also had was wax, I guess, figures of these duck carvers. So the most interesting room, per se, in this ridiculous museum are these figures of these old guys who just sit around in the general store wiggling ducks and talking about duck hunting and wiggling ducks. So here's one of them. I'm hoping that the next photo is also going to be that.
Let's see.
Open that one up. Oh, okay. They're sort of out of order-ish, unfortunately. But this is back on the pier of Havre de Grace. That's how you spell it. See all this? This is what I was talking about. This is not schmutz. These are mayflies. Hundreds of them just stuck to the sign here. But, Potato, you're going to love this. The morning of, I can't even read, May 30 or May 3rd, 1818, British forces under Admiral Cockburn landed, sacked and burned the town. There's a fun thing to remember. But get ready, Potato. The principal defenses were two small batteries on Concord Point. Why didn't they just use a regular plug? I don't know, Potato. The Potato Battery on high ground was manned to the last by John O'Neill. Probably manned to the blast. So there you go. There's a little bit of Havre de Grace history for you. Let's see, do we go back to the museum here? Oh, here's another thing on the pier. They do have public sculptures and things. So when you talk about public art, that stinks and is ridiculous. There's also public art that's just fun, and love this. This is the
It's
you
like
see
a
it yet?
rooster. It's like your rooster image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Notice I'm trying to swim like this
And
great
that was
fish.
I was holding an umbrella in a storm, and we got that.
Yeah, she was trying to take these pictures while trying to keep the camera dry, herself dry, but it is appropriate weather for swimming with a fish. You gotta admit.
Shoot that.
Let's see. I don't know why they came up so out of order. This is also along the path. I think this is on Washington or one of the other streets. Don't know why they had an ICBM, or is it a rocket ship?
It's a lure. It's a buoy.
Oh, so that's a buoy. All right, of course,
That's
it's a
the
lure.
Marine something museum, and the man, you don't see him, but he photobombed. But I couldn't take the picture, so by the time I got the picture, he was out of the.
He was out of the frame. You know, he didn't intentionally photobomb. He
Yes,
was
he
coming
did.
out the
No, he
door.
was like-
Oh, he did?
Yes,
Yeah.
he was like this.
But anyway, that's.
Remember the guy when we lived on the island who would walk and do this?
Oh, Thumbs Up Man! I love Thumbs Up Man. Yeah, yeah. When I'm older, I'm saying when I'm old. I'm already old, but when I'm older, I just want to go around town going. He reminds me of the guy back when I was going to NYU, and he walked around with pamphlets going, "Stop the arms race! Stop the arms!" Like, what the fuck? I'm 17 years old going to college. What am I going to do to stop the arms race? And one time I was just feeling, as I am, kind of cheap, because he wasn't hurting anybody. He wasn't doing anything. He was just a little nuts. But I was like, no, my arm's faster than yours. No wonder you want to stop my arms race. I'm winning. I can be an asshole sometimes. But here I am with the lure outside the closed Maritime Museum. Now, we couldn't get to see that one because that wasn't open at that point. That's what we got here. Here's another. Oh, one of the nice things about the streets there, and some of the main, this I think is Market Street, is probably for so many things were decked out for
Yes.
the 250th anniversary of this here wonderful country.
You used the picture of Ben Franklin in your
Yeah.
ads, right?
So that's coming up here too. But they have cutouts of all these different statesmen of,
Founding father.
founding fathers, John Adams, all those kinds of folks. Here I am with George. What's up with I can't make it. What is up with my right leg?
Do you not have a leg?
It's like, oh, that's a bag. It kind of looks like I've got weird pants where half the side is shorts and the other half is just kind of torn and going down to the thing.
It looks like you're wearing. Wait. It looks like your leg is like some sort of stick.
Yeah. Yeah. What's happening is
What the heck?
this is a bag. I'm holding a bag there and that's coming in front of my leg. But it makes it look like my pants are going down weird
I
on
don't
one
think
side.
that thing is your leg. I can't.
What?
I can't see that.
This is my leg.
Is that your knee?
This little thing over here is my knee.
Oh, okay.
You can see the crusty white stuff on it because my knees get, eczema on them. And then there's,
How did you do that?
yeah, because the bag is dark. I'm holding.
How did you make it fold just so? You did a good job.
Well, thank you, dear. Yeah, and there's George. George, well, he had those wooden, unpleasant
Maybe
teeth.
that's why you didn't want to make him feel bad, yeah.
And didn't they say that he and a lot of people at that time, he probably had a set of wooden teeth, but mainly he wore slave teeth?
I don't know that. You watched the Jefferson thing. I don't know.
Well, Wheezy Jefferson, she's my hottie forever. All right, let's see what's next. What's next? Coming up is... want to talk about... this is like a professional photograph. This is a photograph my wife took of the meal that we
It
had.
looks like tuna, though.
at Coakley's.
Doesn't it look like tuna?
That's right. I thought this was
No, that
sashimi.
wasn't Coakley's. That was...
That was Cooper's?
Yes.
We had this at Cooper's. See, there's a Cooper's near where we live,
It's
and then
not
they've
your
opened.
Tuna, it's the watermelon salad.
I know, I'm saying. But the restaurant that we had this at,
Yeah.
they've just opened a new outlet of it down in Havre de Grace. They have one,
You have a picture
locally.
later with you and the bear, don't you?
a bear.
They had a bear and they were wearing a hat. You have a
Oh,
picture.
yes, that's on my other phone. That's on my, I took that on my,
okay.
my telephone.
Okay.
But this is,
Do you
it
want
looks like tuna, but this is just chunks of watermelon with bit of blue cheese, crumbled, feta cheese, feta cheese crumbled, lettuce, and a couple of other things in there. Probably dried, no, not cranberries. What else
Just
did they?
onion.
Just onion, yeah. And it was so good.
What did you have?
When I was at Cooper's, I had the
Oh,
tacos,
fish taco, yeah.
which was very good, a little
Local,
spicy.
Local.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
like
they're right there on the
it was
water.
rockfish or snakefish. What was the?
Well, they didn't have. Sometimes they have snakefish, which I've never heard of. But this time they had either rockfish or sword. But that tasted like
Yeah,
rockfish.
yeah,
What they
yeah.
put in the taco was very, very good.
What's
And you
the-
loved this.
Yeah,
In fact, she loved it so much that when we came home, we ran to our local like market. What would you call
We
them,
didn't
moms?
really run. Like
We-
it's
well,
like
we
a
drove.
organic store.
Our organic
Grocery
market.
store, yeah.
Bought a watermelon, bought feta cheese, got some lettuce and stuff, and we had red onion. Just cut it up and we did it ourselves. It was yummy. I've had it, you know. And I'm not a feta cheese fan, but it works. It's good, and so that was delicious. But you know, you could literally put that in a magazine almost. Look how pretty that is. So, let's try this one. Oh, here's me and Ben. So if you saw this week's promo, this is going outside the wine bistro, which we did not eat at, but I was curious
Well,
about.
that's more for people who like wine. I mean, we're not wine
Yeah,
drinkers.
no, I'm sure they have a decent menu. I mean,
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
you know, Cooper's and Coakley's were both pubs. Those
Oh,
are places
that's
for.
true. That's actually true.
Now let's.
Oh, I like that one. Yeah, that's cute.
And then,
What?
Potato was so unbearably happy when he saw this.
Oh, is that at that is the I call it Pellegrino's, the Promenade Grill? Is it the Promenade Grill?
So after we went.
That's the Promenade.
So we went to eat. I'll stop sharing so I can talk to you guys.
There's
But
a milkshake.
yeah, after we went to on our second night and went to Cooper's, and she had that watermelon salad. I had the tacos. The waitress is like, "So, would you like dessert?" And here's our list of desserts. And the waitress was like the person. She wasn't the person running the
No,
place.
no.
It was very friendly, but and so she listed. She said, and they had some yummy sounding desserts. But I was trying to feel like, you know, I've eaten pretty well, and so it's probably like, you know, $12 a dessert or something. I'm like, you know what, thank you, we'll forego. And the waitress, to her absolute credit, said, you know, if you don't want this kind of thing, you go down to the promenade. So since you're going to go back to the water anyway,
Yeah.
go down to the promenade and eat at, is it the Promenade Grill? And they have milkshakes, and they're known for their milkshakes.
Yeah.
Which a waitress at a restaurant telling you,
Well, she lives there. Like, she's probably local. So, you know, they're also, I think in touristy towns, people act as like tour guides.
Yeah.
You know, like they tell you that stuff.
but still, if I were a waiter there, I'd say, no, you have to try
Yeah, but they
our,
didn't have ice cream. They had
yeah.
a cookie with ice cream, but they didn't just have ice cream alone. So it's not like a competitor.
So I looked at you and you looked at me and we were like, yeah, milkshake. So
Yeah.
we go out of there, we walk and we get a milkshake at the Promenade Grill. And it was good. I mean, it's Hershey's ice cream. It's not like homemade, you know, small batch made by elves in the basement kind of thing. But still, really, really yummy, tasty milkshake, which you can see. I'm going to share my screen again
See the
in the picture. There it is. Potato. Well, there's the milkshake that we were drinking.
yeah,
Potato.
wasn't interested in that.
No, he was interested in the giant ketchup fountain. We keep promising for his birthday to get Potato his own
It looks
fountain.
massive.
Yeah.
He looks so happy.
Of course he looks so happy. This Potato has been really, really jealous all week of the Potato who got to come with
He
us.
had ketchup
At the Vandiver Inn.
and then he had probably, did we have ketchup? We didn't have ketchup at Cooper's. What did you have at the first night? Oh, you had the tuna. The first night you had that tuna steak, and you no ketchup. Because you had
Oh,
potato
that's
chips.
right. I forgot. Coakley's.
Tofu chips.
Yeah, Coakley's, which is the place we ate on our first night, is also a pub. I mean, they had
Yeah.
a screen of
It
World
said
FIFA Cup going
Say what
on.
the bathroom said.
Was that there at Cooper's?
Yes, that was-
It was at Coakley's.
Coakley.
And I had, because it's a pub atmosphere. It's not a fancy kind of restaurant, and the prices are pretty good, all things considered. I was like, okay, it's going to be pub food, and they're open on a Monday, which not a lot of places are. So we go there, and it's out that raw sashimi tuna thing. I'm in the mood for it. It's a seaside town or an oceanside town. Why not? And I get it, and if I tell you, I cut into it.
It looked like pink. It was like it looked like the color of the watermelon.
Well, the watermelon, yeah. So big thumbs up to Coakley's for their
Yeah.
prices and their food.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there going, this is so good.
Yeah.
So that was the angle. The fun thing though is because it's a pub, and you're looking around, where's the bathroom? We need to use the bathroom, and they have on, nailed to the wall a big black and white drawing of a hand with a finger pointing and pitié under in French.
Yeah.
In French, pitié. That tells you where the bathroom is.
Gotta go.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. So let me get back to
What's
sharing.
next, Jen?
By the way, it's about 5 after 10 Eastern Time here in the Daverhood. You're watching Dave's Gone By. With me, Dave Lefkowitz, my darling and adorable wife, and, of course, Potato. Moving forward in our photos, don't have that many left. So let's see. I think we're covering here's Potato and me and the ketchup again.
I'm so happy.
Oh, I was happy about the milkshake. Potato was happy, of course, about the ketchup. Let's see. What else did I take here? Oh, so again, I don't know how these got so jumbled in terms of order, but here's Rehoboth. Me and my Rehoboth shirt, but this is a Havre de Grace. That is
That's
what
at
the sky.
Doone. That's the Chesapeake.
Yeah.
So when we first went, I asked people here, because I didn't know, it's like, should we go swim in there? They're like, oh, you can't swim in there. That's it's a
Yeah.
waterway. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the Chesapeake, yeah.
Because there's no place, it's not like a beach. There's no place to walk down and
There's
go
one
in.
for the ducks. They had like
Oh.
you saw the little gravel and they had like an
Yeah.
inlet for them.
But that's not for people.
That's payback for all the shooting of the ducks.
It's true. It's true. The Duck Decoy Museum, Gesundheit. Oh, I forgot to mention this, Gesundheit. The thing about the Duck Decoy Museum is, first, it's near the water where a bunch of ducks are swimming and whatever, and you can figure the ducks are doing their middle wing finger going,
yes.
we're alive, motherfuckers! You can get us, we can pose for you! But the most weird, messed up thing about the whole decoy museum, which it's so ridiculous that they have a place that size for a decoy museum. But you go into the gift,
Why don't you show them all the stuff? You're not even.
because I'm showing the pictures here. Okay.
That's what
this is
we
cute.
rescued.
Yeah, I'll show that in a mo.
What's this?
I don't know what's in there. I don't even know what's in there. Oh, that's that plate, that thing we got. They wrapped it.
It's an empty bag.
Oh no! Oh, what? Oh, that was in there. That was in the. So we can show this. The gift shop at the Duck Decoy Museum. What would you think they would have in the gift shop? I'll be very careful with this. You would assume that a museum that is stocked shelf.
Here's the pen you took.
Thank you. Yeah. Stocked shelf by shelf by shelf by shelf with decoy ducks.
Oh, here you go.
You would imagine that the gift shop
Wait.
would, yeah. My wife's getting a bunch of things out of the bag. Oh, well, this we brought this goose that we've had in the house for a while. But the one thing the gift shop did not have was decoy ducks.
Thank goodness, yeah.
Yeah, not of any, not like little plastic ones. And it's the most common thing that people get as souvenirs now. You see truck drivers with 100 ducks on their
Those
dashboards.
Yeah, maybe they will.
But the Decoy Duck Museum, they've got shirts, they've got books, they've got things about Maryland history, they got all the little child. They don't have ducks that you can
I
buy.
have a bunch of pictures.
Oh, I forgot to put, I was wondering, put those up here so I can show those too. But we did get at the Decoy Duck Museum, this is very cute,
You can put this next week too.
a cute little owl figurine. So he's Owl de Grace.
Yes, he survived it.
He's very cute. And then we also got, this is nice, a Havre de Grace little plate thing with, I'm not sure what these things are. Oh, it's
You're
what keeps the
supposed to
rope
hang
on.
it. You can hang it.
Yeah, so there we go. Pretty, very pretty. But that, I think that's the greatest irony of the whole thing, that you go into a gift shop of a store, of a place, a giant museum that has nothing but duck decoys, and you can't buy
Maybe they don't
a
want you to
fake
put
duck
the ducks in the water.
You think?
I think.
Because a lot of children come. Yeah, there was a school bus there.
Yes.
There was a small, like a camp school bus of kids who were there to see the duck decoy, because what else do you do with kids
Yeah.
on a Monday when they're in camp? Let's bring them to the decoy museum. Because it's so freaking interesting watching a bunch of ancient white men come, we used to whale the ducks down by the bay.
The guy we met. Tell him about the guy we met. He said it was very...
Well, we were waiting to get in because we got there early and we're outside waiting for them to open up. And there was another guy who was there for a meeting with someone at the decoy museum for God knows what. And he was just very friendly. He gave us a little bit of a mini history of Havre de Grace and the fact that he had been in the Navy for years and years. So he knew all about maritime things and the way that the boardwalk and the promenade started, and the fact that there was a giant glacier, and that it was this and this and this, all the stuff that, if they were telling me this in geography class back in 4th grade, I'd be like, And now, as an older, more intelligent person, I'm like,
yes, you were. You actually did that face.
yeah, I did. But he was very nice.
Yes.
So let's get back to the show and tell portion.
Do you want some of the pictures?
Yeah, I can show them while this is up. Yeah, please.
Give me this. Yeah, I don't know.
These were just from the local thing. I'm going to put these up today, but I forgot I had those.
This is a calendar, but I don't know. I guess it's shots from all of the county.
Yeah, no, this isn't even, well, Chesapeake County. Is this Havre?
I can't see.
Let
me see.
I'll probably say.
Probably yes.
So there you go. I'm not sure I took some. Well, the pictures are kind of small.
Later. You don't
Yeah,
have to.
this ain't really doing it. But okay. I was just going to cut those out for scenery,
Yeah, that's
not
fine.
specifically for today.
Keep going. Show the rest of the photos.
So here's more of what we did on our very, very early summer vacation. Next shot is, I think we kind of went through it. Here's me with the milkshake that we wound up having. I think we're down to the nubs. Yeah, these are the photos that we took when we were at Havre de Grace. What else should I say? Oh, one of the cool things that worked out well was our second night in town at the hotel. They do have they do have a restaurant and a chef and a back room or like a room under a tent where they can host, as you said, weddings and celebrations. And once a week or a couple of times a month, they'll have a big special dinner menu. Right? So we had complimentary breakfast, but we didn't have complimentary dinner. And they said, oh, Tuesday night is Filipino night. And I was like, what are they doing? Empanadas or something? Then the special menu, I kind of looked at it and I was like, maybe not. And we guessed right. But what was interesting is that chefs being chefs, he used leftovers from the Filipino night the night before
The rice noodles.
for breakfast the next day. So he made this pretty good rice noodle dish with egg and dried, what do they call it? It's a pork thing, not pulled pork, but some kind of Filipino porkish thing. It was okay. It made me not sad that I missed the big Filipino night celebratory dinner thing, because if that's what it was, I could live without it. But it was not. I got to taste what the Filipino night was like without having to do Filipino night.
Yeah.
What else? Basically, yeah, the town itself, we didn't have that much time to walk
I'm
around.
going to open something that we bought, remember?
Yes. Okay.
You can open it. That's for this potato,
I-
because he suffered.
True. You're right.
He suffered.
So, a couple of things that they had in town. I showed you the urology clinic sign. There's also a chemical plant, like an enormous chemical plant there. I forget what they're.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, no, because when I went walking that morning, and you stayed in, I was like, jeepers. Then they had another building, which was really interesting, that had been, and this was very close to the hotel, a medical center that was in the process of being demolished. So one side looks like it's still a medical center, the other, the windows are hanging out, there's wires coming down, there's just debris everywhere. There's a nice library We went into the library for a bit. What else? And we went to,
Show them the postcard.
because on Wednesday
Show
morning,
them the postcard.
things start to open up in the town. And Wednesday it starts to. So now all the thrift stores and the antique stores, and we stopped in one that we liked quite a lot. It's called Joe Retro, and one of the things that I guess they're known for, because maybe a third of the store, a quarter of the store has Pyrex.
Yeah, they're like the largest Pyrex dealer.
So if you want Pyrex items,
And they had a Spurtle.
they did. This makes me sad. I'm a cheap goddamn Jew. So I see, and I'm looking for this in Wig. I look at this every store we
Every
go.
place we go.
Because
Land's End, IKEA.
years ago we saw Dave Venable, the guy on HS, or is it QVC? I think it's QVC.
QVC, yes.
And he did a whole half hour or 2 or 5
On the Spurtle.
on a spurtle, which is basically it's a spatula, but it's a special spatula because the ends are curved. So it allows you to scoop the sides of things and the round things and the corners of things easier, supposedly, than a spatula does.
It's my end, yeah.
And because Dave Venable is Big Dave,
Yes.
and when he says something about a spurtle,
You were obsessed.
yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
You've been on a quest, a Spurtle quest, yes.
And you cannot find friggin' spurtle. You find spatulas everywhere.
Yes.
You find other utilitarian kitchen items,
They call
whisks,
them like,
yeah,
you know,
slotted spoons,
but never
Cur-
Spurtle. They never.
not spurtle. We go into this Joe Retro place.
Yeah, I'm sure you could get it on their website too.
You're right. But with shipping, now it's going to. But for $15, I could have bought
Yeah.
an authentic spurtle. I held it.
You cried.
I wept over it.
You
I
cried
wept
a little
unto it.
sad, Yeah.
But the colors, it was a little weirdly colorful for my taste. It was almost like hand painted, except you wouldn't hand paint a
No.
kitchen utensil. And then I felt it, and it was like not quite so smooth. It almost felt like a borderline splintery of the wood, whereas I want something more lacquered, and so
If
if
you
I'm
want
going to use it.
something like, yeah, I know.
Yeah. So I was tempted. It also was like $15, where it's a freaking spatula. I should have bit the bullet.
Yes.
I should have said, "It's a spurtle. I'm buying this."
We could
But-
have used it.
Me being me, I don't know if we actually used it. I would be able. No, I'd have to get 2, one to use and one
one
to
for show.
pray over. Yeah.
One to show Spurtle.
But I also didn't want to get it because we already made a
Well, show
purchase.
what you got me. You got my present.
I got-
It's
well-
on your lap. It's on your lap.
I beg your pardon. This is a beautiful vintage bag because my wife lives on tea. Absolutely adores black tea, English tea.
I want to frame this one and keep it to the towel. I want to frame this thing here.
Oh sure. Oh absolutely.
See, it comes off.
Oh, it comes off. Yeah, with care. Oh, we can put that. We can get a frame today at Michael's or something and just put it in a frame. I say put it in a bag for now, and have it.
Leave
And
it here, right?
yeah. And then when you're ready, we can post it on a piece of paper and put the paper in a frame. Yeah. So this is. We also got my wife this really nice dish towel, which again we don't want to use. We just want to see. We can probably frame this.
No, I want to use that.
You're really gonna actually. Not helpful if I pointed to me.
No,
So.
I gotta measure the.
So my wife's love of tea.
I do.
This, so this represents that. But then we saw this other thing at the Joe.
It's for our friend.
Joe Retro.
Because he would be upset.
Yeah.
This potato got nothing, so you don't want to. You have to be careful because they're very. You didn't get.
They get jealous. They do. So we took one potato on our trip with us, but this and our other 400 potatoes didn't come with us at all. So we wanted to get them a consolation prize. We saw this. And I want you to know, potato, I forewent the
No,
Spurtle.
you didn't. I told you to get it. You didn't want it. I think you would get that.
Well, no, I'm saying if I didn't get this, I would have.
That's not
blown
true.
the bucks
I
on the
wanted
Spurtle.
that, and you said, "Ooh, I should get it for potato. He has nothing." And you
Right.
were like, "Okay."
So once I knew we were getting this, I was like, I'm not going to get this and the Spurtle.
That's not true.
Not until we pay our mortgage
You
off.
looked at, no, you looked at the Spurtle and you were like, "Oh, Spurtle."
Well, it wasn't no, if it was a beautiful Spurtle that really appealed to my Spurtle aesthetic, my Spurt aesthetic, I would have gotten it.
It's like 6 by 3.5, right?
What? Oh yeah, it's small. You can fit that in a 5x7, I think, maybe? No.
That's like, maybe
Actually, a 5x7 would.
6, yeah.
Yeah. So,
6 by 3.5. Let me
behold, ladies and gentlemen, a bowl made by Danica Jubilee, dishwasher and microwave safe, by the way,
Yes.
of happy
Show them that they're dancing. Show the dance.
dancing. So the light is not.
Like twirl the potatoes around. You see them? See, they're all holding hands and dancing. They're so cute.
There's no way we
Look
could
at the one
resist
with
this.
His eyes closed. He's like, like
Yes.
this.
Look how happy he is.
Oh, look at those two. And they're holding, and see there, and then that one's not holding hands. Keep going that way. Another way, other way. Other turn. Why are those two not holding hands? See?
Oh, well,
And
she's
then keep going.
do-si doing.
Oh, they're so cute.
This is really adorable. And you got the red speckling of tomato paste in there.
Yes.
We should mention that tomatoes appeal to potatoes because their favorite food is ketchup. And
This is pre-ketchup.
tomatoes, yes, it's ketchup in its nascent form. So we saw this and we're like, so you didn't come with us on our trip to Havre de Grace potato, but we did get you and your brethren this beautiful bowl. What do we say, potato? Thank you. And we can fill it with ketchup or tomato sauce or butter or salt, all the things that sour cream, all the things that you really love to eat right in here. What can I? Yes.
Well, he's a little.
Look how
Tell me you're a little big for it.
Oh.
It's nice.
Doesn't he look happy?
He loves it.
Yeah, why wouldn't he? Look how this is really adorable. I'm glad we
I
got
like
this.
that they're dancing around. It's really cute. You know, we should have gotten 2. One
Yeah.
for each of us, right?
Well, we can get this online too. It's Danica Jubilee.
Ah,
I was wondering why we only got one, since you get sets of dishware and.
because you didn't really want it, and I thought it'd be
Oh.
good for like my crackers.
No, this I wanted. This was like, yeah. This was obvious as soon as you
Because when I
pointed
gave
it.
you, you were like, oh, $7. No.
Well, $7 is better than $15 for a Spurtle. I'm going to get myself a Spurtle on eBay. We're going to get another one of these, and then we will be, I don't know if we'll ever be happy, but then we will be more content than we are in 2026 America, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching Dave's Gone By. I think that literally, one more thing just to say about Maryland.
Can I see the bowl, honey?
Oh, of course, yeah. And this part of Maryland, it's a really interesting thing. When I went walking around on I think it was on a Tuesday morning, or maybe it was the Wednesday morning, I went just for a walk in the neighborhood. And it's a very nice,
It's called Funny Vegetable Food Bowls.
Funny vegetable food bowls. The thing that you see in Maryland, and you kind of get where John Waters got his sensibility from. There's something interesting and weird about Marylanders, and this is not Baltimore. This is pretty far north of Baltimore. It's closer to where we live than Baltimore City. But you go walking, and the town is a mix of commercial and real estate and what do you call it, livable.
Well, they're developing a lot of the old hospital apartment buildings are being made into like residential places. Yeah, they're doing a lot of building in Havre.
But it's not one of these things where you have apartment complexes and then all the stores on another block.
No.
There's a house next to
Yes.
a store next to
Yes.
another house.
Yes.
It's all really kind of weirdly mixed in a cool way.
Yes.
And the other thing that you see when you go into a little bit more of the deeper suburbia is in the quote-unquote more high-class, the houses are a little more expensive, a little bit nicer, a little nicer area.
Yeah.
People deck out their front porches
Yeah.
with stuff. They decorate not just with flowers, but they put all sorts of cool gewgaws and things on their front porch. The lower, I hate to say lower class, but the slightly less affluent neighborhood or blocks in this neighborhood, the more you'll see more stuff on the front porch, to the point where You go into the poor areas, and they're not really poor, but areas where they don't have as much money, and suddenly all the porches are just filled with like children's toys and hanging things and lanterns and lamps and couches and chairs. It's like people. I don't know why people don't live in their backyards. Why do people? We have a neighbor across the street, and he spends half the day just sitting on his front porch, nipping at whatever he's nipping at, or just sitting there reading, or just staring out and thinking and taking the day easy. I'm like, why do you do that on your front porch? What is that? You have a beautiful backyard. He's got an open backyard. Why? What's here that you're looking at? Unless he likes to see the passersby and people walking their dogs and spy on the neighbors or something. I don't care. I don't even stand much on the back porch.
I think there's shade. I think my thinking is
Oh.
that in the back there's no shade. It's just sun. They don't have any kind of
Awning or anything.
yeah. And I think that in the front where it's shady, and it's also cool because it's adjacent to the house. That's what
that's a very
I don't
sensible.
know. You could ask him. He'll tell you.
Well, how am I going to ask him? It's like, why are you so weird and sit on your front porch all day? why no, I wouldn't necessarily put it like that. But I'm sure, or I don't know, I think people in that part of Maryland don't stay on their front porches because there's no room. They have these big front porches, they fill it with crap, and then I guess maybe that's the way they don't have to fill their basements with it. I don't know if they have basements there because it's sea level. Everything with any big rainstorm, they probably flood. But maybe, I don't have to put anything on my back porch because all my shit is up front. So let's just hang in the back. I don't know, but it is an interesting cultural thing there that I noticed about porches in Havre de Grace, Maryland, where my wife and I were happily and luckily ensconced for about 2 days earlier this week. My wife being the lovely, amazing, and wonderful person that she is, me being Dave Lefkowitz, you being you, all of us taking part on this Saturday, June 27th, 2026, to the 1038th episode of the Dave's Gone By, Facebookio, Programmio, Podcastio of the stream. We have been on the air since October of 2002. We started as a radio show on terrestrial radio on Long Island. We spent a few years in Colorado. We did some internet radio, and then the past bunch of years we've been on video and then live casting on Facebook. Once the show is finished on Saturdays at 11:30, 12, 12:30, whatever it is, it's saved on Facebook for a few weeks, but then it's saved in perpetuity at davesgoneby.com. That's my main website, davesgoneby.com. You can listen to the first episode of the show, the 21st, the 121st. I can't believe I'm saying this. The 1021st episode of Dave's Gone By is at davesgoneby.com. You can watch it. That one will be on video. But all of our archives, our skits, our interviews, our songs, all the stuff we've done, barring 2 episodes that got lost in the ether, they're there for free at any time. Just stream or download at your convenience, davesgoneby.com. Now, we also have our archives, just as a safety measure, at archive.org. That is a nonprofit website. We're not connected to them, but we put all our interviews and all our full episodes at our channel at archive.org. So if our website is ever down and you need your fix of Dave's Gone By, just get it at archive.org. If you only care, or if you care only, about the audio of the show, what's this? Oh, is that our Paul? Look what you're showing me.
Whoa.
It flipped from Art Paul to...
I'm going to look that up.
if you care only about the audio of the show, go to castbox.fm, because that is for podcasting. So, again, it's the audio thing, but all our episodes are there, audio only. If you're on the go, if you can't sit there for 2.5, 3 hours watching this, I could, but maybe you wouldn't. But if you don't mind hearing it, you're on a treadmill, you're on a plane, you're driving, you can listen to Dave's Gone By via castbox.fm. And we have also started put all of our episodes on Spotify. So yes, just look for Dave's Gone By on Spotify. And basically every episode, we were having an issue with one or two in terms of rights, but we complained and I think we won. So virtually every episode is available also on Spotify.com. Lots of different ways to listen to and hear the whole history of Dave's Gone By. Well, it's a little after 10:30 in the morning Eastern Time. We have a lot more to share with you on this episode of the show because we've got story time coming up. There is a carrot in my ear. We're going to share it with you. We're going to read it to you. I'm probably going to make fun of it. Don't miss that. Rabbi Sol Solomon will be doing his rabbinical reflection on bad coffee, or more specifically, a bad, evil coffee shop in Brooklyn with very, very anti-Israel, anti-Semitic leanings. We also have our Colorado Limerick of the Dam for Copper Mountain, Colorado, as well as our brand new song, The First Time Ever, ... But before we get to that, Hun, are you feeling...
I was looking for someone. Who are you talking?
Well, you showed me the Art Paul thing, but
Oh, that's what I was looking.
does Art Paul have a new
Give me
painting?
a second, I'm sorry.
While I get ready to do Greeley, or excuse me, non-Greeley times. As I mentioned, Greeley Tribune is no longer going to be doing Coplog, sob, sob, sad, sad. It is quite sob, sob, sad, sad. So instead of that, though, we get weird, crazy news from other places. So we're renaming the segment Non-Greeley Times in that honor. Let me see if I can play a little bit of the Greeley song to get that going.
I don't think you want to see these.
Oh,
Oh, here you go.
oh, here we. Okay, let me show this.
Look at the one.
I like this one, and this is so appropriate considering what we were talking about. They should buy this for the Duck Decoy Museum. This is a new painting by Art Paul Schlosser, our great friend of the Daverhood, the guy who painted me, and he still. The point was, he made himself a vow to do a painting a day, every single day for 365 days.
Yeah, but the time has passed.
When he reached that milestone,
Yeah.
he has just kept going. So that's like 300. This is day 419 in 419 days. He has not missed a day. Here's Art Paul actually holding up the painting. You can see his face a little better. So yay, yay, yay to Art Paul, and congratulations on that. Let me see if I can get more of his things. Let me see. Oh dear. Okay, so who is? Okay, this is Tom Petty. He does a lot of paintings of music stars like Jimi Hendrix,
Yeah.
and I think he did Janis Joplin, and he's done The Doors. Can you recognize it? Here's Tom Petty.
Yeah.
I think this is when he's swollen from full moon fever. Yeah.
What killed Tom Petty?
He did die youngish. I don't know
Yeah,
what
he
it
did.
yeah. Okay, who else? Let's see some other Art Paul. Oh, he's done more than one painting of Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, that's true.
Here's another one of Jimmy. Not bad, not bad. Here's this one's called If 6 Were 9. This is recognizably Jimmy.
Yes.
You can kind of see that one.
Oh, yeah.
You seem somewhat unconvinced. And here's who's the Pina Colada guy?
Margaritaville?
I don't know where that guitar is coming from, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think I want to know.
Oh, almost.
Alrighty. One or two more from Art Paul. That one's pretty. This one's just kind of a little creepy but nice. This is all about bats.
Oh, okay.
And the painting is called Bats. And you can go to Art Paul on Facebook and find all these paintings that he's done.
It's yours.
Who's this? I don't know. Butch Vig, the drummer. This is
It's yours, right?
yeah. Oh yeah. Mine is great. Here's hold on. Oh, it's not rolling. Let's roll. Let me find another one. Some of them are abstract and interesting. They're not all like. So here's this one would give me nightmares if this were hanging in my really anywhere in the house. Would you put that up in the house?
What is it?
It's an eyeball surrounded
Evil
by.
eye? I mean, that's might protect us.
It's called the Eye of the Storm.
Oh, I
Get
like
it?
that.
Yeah, I do like that
That's
one. Yeah.
clever.
We'll do a couple more. And here's Louis Armstrong. There's Louis Armstrong doing his thing. Louis has been on Wegovy. He's lost a bit of weight there.
Whoa, look at him. Good
He's
for
looking
him.
good. He's doing all right.
Yeah, he's looking sharp.
So, ladies and gentlemen, a big shout out to our friend of the day, Art Paul Schlosser, doing a painting a day well past the 1 year deadline for, well, I don't know if it was a deadline, it was just a goal, which he has surpassed spectacularly. So imagine if you had to paint, even if you're Picasso, there'd be days when Picasso would go like, no, I burn that. Galas, get that away. And then others would say, oh, I can't believe I did that in an hour. So, yes, indeed. But it's time now to get criminal with Greeley Times. There we go. That's about as much as we can play without getting...
Isn't it non-Greeley times?
Yes, so you're right. I've got to literally write this down with the pen that I stole from the Decoy Museum. Non-Greeley Times. We do have one item still from Coplog, and we'll have one more next week for Greeley Times. This is a Greeley time right here. Oh, I'll get that. Go phone.
Wait.
Oh, good. They're calling on the other phone. That's good. I got it. An officer warned someone about jaywalking. This goes on the police blogger. An officer took the time to warn somebody about the dangers. Not only is it illegal, but I guess it is kind of dangerous about, crossing at the green, not in between, and had to do a citation for it to prove that he's doing his job. And yes, jaywalking is really a thing, and I guess in a town like Greeley, they still call people out for walking in the wrong way in the wrong place. And that was Greeley for this week. But we have other stories from other places. For example, let me get my glasses phone. What's nice about my glasses phone is I can put them on this way and here, through here. We go all the way to Izmir, Turkey. Here lives Mir? Izmir nicht. Izmir, Turkey. This is reported by United Press International. A ballet performance of Romeo and Juliet in Turkey went off script in its last few minutes in the most adorable way.
Oh, no. Oh, good. In a good way?
There's video from the performance, apparently, by the Imperial Russian Ballet. An orange cat wanders onto the stage, and this is magnificent, just after Romeo dies.
Oh, no.
The cat lies down. Oh, there is video. I saw the video of this. It's very cute.
Funny, yeah.
The cat lies down next to the dead actor and starts playing with and tugging his hair.
Oh.
That's when the actress playing. Remember, Juliet is supposed to find Romeo dead, be distraught, and kill herself. Now she's walking on stage and there's a friggin' orange cat pulling at Romeo's hair.
How does it not keep him from
laughing or
sneezing?
moving? Yeah. So Juliet came out and you see her taking Romeo by the feet and pulling him away from the cat. And she doesn't pick up the cat. She
I
just
hope she's at a SAG or something, because that's a lot of work to pull someone.
At that point, the cat found a table to jump on and curled up for a nap while the rest of the ballet went on. As you might expect, the audience was kind of pulled out of the story, but they laughed and they clapped when the cat got his own bow.
I think Shakespeare would have liked it.
Everybody, crazy stuff went on during Shakespeare's actual. I mean, there were rich people being serviced by whores in the. Yeah, it was madhouse. You thought it was they're listening to the speech so closely and carefully. Yeah, it was like a wild party going on. But anyway, this is the closest that we get. An orange tabby cat. I wouldn't say destroying. I would say enlivening.
Well, he joined. I hope he got some credit.
I guess they should rename the warring family the Catulets.
Oh, God.
Thank you very much. Oh, I think we have another call coming in. I'll get it on the goose phone. Hello. Ooh, this is coming all the way from down under Melbourne, Australia, courtesy of the Shepherd Express. So you think your wedding was special? Melbourne couple Brett Borland and Georgie Abella were preparing to tie the knot. But they couldn't decide what name they should use. Should she change his name to his? Should she keep her own name? What do you think they did?
I have no idea. They hybrided?
No.
They chose a new name.
No. Good ideas, by the way,
I
but
don't
no.
know. What did they?
They figured they wanted to choose one or the other, so they hosted a battle of the surnames at the wedding reception.
What? That seems too dangerous.
They staged an all-day series of competitions for the families, speaking of Romeo and Juliet, to play against each other. The winning family would pick the couple's new last name. So, and this is a wedding reception. After competing in a tug of war,
Good Lord.
a potato sack race,
Do you think that Nana should have to do that? I mean, God.
they had a soccer shootout and a twerking contest. I will go with this wedding. The Borland family won the trophy, and the Borlands are now the Borlands, not the Abellas. Wow. Wow. Now, sounds like fun, though. Sounds like a kind of a cool group and a marriage that might actually last. Cool. Oh, I think we have another call. I got it. Let me drum up some new business here. Santa Catarina, Brazil. And this was reported by Shepherd Express here. Let me get my glasses down. Amanda Maria Souza de Oliveira, age 37. Remember that. Age 37.
Yeah.
She is charged with fraud and identity theft because she deceived a local church into providing for her financially. How did she do this, do you think?
I don't know.
She impersonated a 12-year-old girl.
Whoa.
Oddity Central reported on... This is where it gets further. On June 5th, they reported that De Oliveira...
Where did she get money from a food bank? Tell me again. She got just money from like a food...
Like she conned a church into giving her stuff, food and supply, whatever else.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah. She gained the trust of a local congregation and was taken in by a family that wanted to adopt her. They threw her a birthday party and even paid for her weight loss medication.
Whoa. They paid a lot of money, huh?
Well, her fraud was discovered when a relative of the family notified police because the woman, De Oliveira, she looked in her mid-30s. But I guess some 12-year-old, But the family actually bought her preteen act because she acted like a child.
Yeah.
She spoke in a high-pitched voice.
Oh, God. Ugh.
She faked having night terrors.
That's horrible.
And this is the thing that absolutely blows my mind.
What?
She drank milk from a baby bottle.
So maybe poor thing.
Honey, the woman, she was playing a 12-year-old, not a 4-year-old. Wait, when you stop drinking from baby bottles?
When you're a baby.
Which is
like a year,
2? Yeah, right.
I mean,
You get off the tit, you drink from a baby bottle for a year or two, and then actually some kids don't get off the tit until 5 or 6, but still, she's 12. When I was 12, I was looking at Playboy and drinking like iced tea.
I don't know. Perhaps she was trying to make that,
I don't know. What? How? A 12-year-old girl would be putting up pictures of, I don't know, who's the latest menudo on her wall.
I don't know. But
And behaving like, experimenting with makeup. She would not be drinking milk from a baby bottle.
Yeah.
She would be maybe talking a high-pitched voice. I don't know. De Oliveira is, in fact, a serial child impersonator.
What is that?
So she puts on cereal, but she's done this before
Oh, God.
in 3 other Brazilian cities. By the way, she's now in jail awaiting psychiatric evaluation, presumably by a child psychologist. I don't know.
Why don't they get an adult psychologist?
No, I made that joke. No,
Oh,
it's
she's an
going to be,
adult.
yeah. Somebody's going to look at her brain pretty closely, I do believe. Anyway, true story out of Santa Catarina, Brazil. Wow. Anyway, we're doing non-Greeley times, ladies and gentlemen, because look, we've had a story from Turkey, Australia, Brazil. I wonder where our next phone call will come from.
Oh, sorry.
Oh boy, I'm going to get the owl phone. Oh, yeah, hi, this is Dave. Who? Dave Lefkowitz. Who? Dave, I'm the host of Dave's Gone By. Who? Dave Lefkowitz. I founded the show back in 2002. We're doing a segment
That's all
called
he says, honey. He doesn't. That's his only word.
Who? You're the who? I'm getting a different phone. That's ridiculous. Pen phone. United Kingdom. From Oddity Central, they reported on this. When Claire Hobson's beloved dog, Patch, died recently,
Oh.
the woman whose job is being a permanent makeup artist decided to honor her pooch in an unusual way. She mixed the dog's ashes into eyeliner ink, and she's wearing it as semi-permanent eyeliner. The patch-infused makeup will last Hobson a few years, and she has plenty of his ashes left for a reapplication. He's going to be there a long time, she said. Now, we've had dogs who were cremated. You're not much of a makeup wearer, although you do put on some.
Yeah.
Would you wear our dog on your face?
No, I don't think it's hygienic. Do you think that's hygienic?
Well, it's just, I mean, it's been burned. It's probably as organic as anything. It's organic matter that was burned in a fire. I don't know. I mean, I've always wanted to cover this part of my lip where my hair lip is with
Makeup?
or something, or ink, or dye.
They do it with what do you call that stuff?
With what? Oh, henna, like tattoo, that kind of thing.
With a tattoo, yeah.
So why not have cockapoo henna, or or German Shepherd lip liner? You never know. It's a whole new idea and way of repurposing. It's recycling, in a manner of speaking, right? Akita lip gloss. I don't even want to know. Let's do one more, and then we'll table non-Greeley times for the week. And let's go a lot closer to home. So a place that's almost drivable from here. Oh, look where we're going, hon. Look.
Your nose?
In Pennsylvania, the Poconos.
Oh, that's cute.
Okay, because I'm poking my nose. Which is better than picking my nose, which I do all the time. But anyway, let's get the goat phone one more time.
Yeah.
31-year-old Saif Kalim faces charges of criminal mischief, disorderly conduct, and trespassing after vandalizing what?
A street sign.
No.
A young girl who pretended to be a child.
No.
I don't know.
What else? A pickleball court.
Oh boy.
Surveillance video footage of the night in question shows a man on crutches entering the park. He then cuts the net on the court. Then another time he just breaks in after the court is closed. Police issued a crime watch, and the community helped catch Kalim, who admitted that he did it because, quote,
Why?
his summer was ruined
Oh.
after he sustained an injury on the pickleball court. You ever do that? You ever trip over a curb and then you like kick the curb? And like, you stupid curb. Yeah, you trip over something in the house. You go, God damn it, right? This is he's mad at the pickleball court for getting injured. And he's taking it out on the net and then the court.
Better that than people.
Yeah, okay, you're right. You're absolutely right. And I'm Dave Lefkowitz, and you have been watching not only Dave's Gone By, but this segment, Non-GREELEY Times.
Mr. Horace Greeley was no fool.
No, he was not.
I'm sure that you'll agree with me that Greeley was no fool.
What he is getting at is that Mr. Greeley was no fool.
Yippee-yi!
Yippee-yi, 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 yi, yi, yippee-yi, yippee-yi, yippee-yi.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're putting away the phone for this week, but that was Non-GREELEY Times here on Dave's Gone By. It's not quite 11 o'clock. We still have a lot to do on this show. We've got our Colorado Limerick of the Damned, where we're going to Copper Mountain, Colorado. We have my brand new song, The First Time Ever. And Rabbi Sol Solomon with a rabbinical reflection about a very, very bad coffee shop out in Brooklyn. Before we get to all that, shall we do... we were going to ask, what should we do next? Should we do... We got our crystal ball thing. So we're going to ask the crystal ball question. Should... Oh, no, it's got to be a yes or no. Hold on. Among the things that we have to do next. Friends of the Daverhood, the song, the rabbi, the limerick, or story time. Should we do story time next? Oh, she said very doubtful.
We'll try again, but
Well, I got to ask her. I said no on
no,
the.
doubtful, and it's not a yes or a no. Give it another one.
All right. Should we do story time as our next segment?
Seems
certain. So, certainly, that is going to be our next segment of this episode of Dave's Gone By, our 1038th. And why not? Since we've spent so much time talking about tomatoes and potatoes and having that beautiful bowl with tomatoes on it. We should have done the rabbi then, but because that's pre-recorded. But we'll do this. This is, or you can, if you're feeling, I can do this.
Fine, I'll stay.
This is a book. We'll do story time. There's a carrot, or there is. Excuse me. I'm putting a contraction where there isn't, which you don't want to do that to a pregnant lady. There is a carrot in my ear, and other noodle tales retold by Alvin, Schwartz, and pictures by Karen Ann Winehouse. Let's take a look. Let's see. Let's hope this is funny. And there's chapters too. Oh boy. For Nina and Robert. By the way, in the foreword, they're going to explain that a noodle is a silly person. This book is about a family of noodles and the silly things they do. So we're going to noodle about with this book. When I do it, I don't even feel like myself. I feel like an imposter. First joke I ever wrote, by the way. Okay. They are Mr. and Mrs. Brown, and Sam and Jane, and here's Grandpa. Okay. Let's see the silly things they do. Oh, appropriate, they're going to the beach. The Browns take the day off. It was a hot day. What the hell?
What?
Is he carrying a giant carrot?
What is that?
Or is that like a surf? I don't even know what that is. Or an umbrella. Probably an umbrella, but it looks carrot-shaped.
No, it's a giant. I'm gonna say it's the giant carrot.
Yeah.
But it might be. Let's just say it's the carrot.
Let's just go with carrot. Yeah. I guess they want to veg out. Thank you. So Mr. Brown took his family to the swimming pool. I think it's an umbrella, actually. Okay, here we go. Sam and Jane jumped in right away. They raced all the way to the other end of the pool. Then they raced back. By the way, the pool is about the size of a bathtub. And here's Grandpa. Grandpa jumped in. Somehow his sciatica is looking so much better here. Then he jumped up and down, and each time he came down, he called out, "Brrr!" Yeah, they're a special family.
What's on his waist? Is that potato?
I think those are water wings, so he doesn't drown in 4 inches of water.
In the bathtub pool, yeah.
Mr. Brown bounced up and down on the diving board. Except when they're not doing anything really particularly silly. Mrs. Brown sat in the sun and turned bright red. And actually, the sequel to this book is Mrs. Brown Gets Cancer. So
It becomes a tomato.
it is very nice here today, said Jane. It will be even nicer on Tuesday, said the man with the broom.
What does that
It's
mean?
like non sequiturs.
What does that mean?
I have no idea. Here's a guy with a broom. I guess he's flirting with, I don't know. Maybe he's flirting with Jane or
He
something.
wants to get rid of them.
You know, about a man who's holding a long broom. Why, asked Sam. Why, asked Grandpa. Why, asked Mr. Brown. Why, asked... You know, it's hard to say the word asked.
Asked? Yeah.
It's a very hard word
It
to
is.
say. It sounds like I'm saying asked.
It is.
On Tuesday, said the man with the broom. Huh?
What?
This kind of explains
Yeah.
what's been going on this whole time.
What?
They go to the pool.
Yeah.
They're walking around. Grandpa's bouncing up and down.
Yeah.
They're saying, oh, it's very nice. The guy with the broom says, it'll be even nicer on Tuesday. Why will it be nicer on Tuesday?
Why?
This is like Chelm. The man with the pool said, there'll be water in the pool.
Oh my God! Why there no water?
This is based on old Polish folk tales. I don't know. Chapter 2. Sam and Jane go camping. Well, Sam and Jane were camping out. When it got dark, they made a big fire and they told stories. All right. She's going to get s'mores and fingered on the same night. Here we go. This is a story about Bill, the ghost dog, said Jane. It is a very scary story. I hope so, said Sam. Once upon a time, said Jane, there was a big white dog named Bill.
Oh.
And by the way, you know what happened to Bill? He became eyeliner later on.
I don't understand that whole thing. It's very confusing.
Bill, the dog, had a very mean owner. He wouldn't feed Bill or pet him or anything. And then, one night, suddenly Jane stopped. She heard a strange sound. Mm, mm. And no, it wasn't Bill farting. Mm, it was getting louder and louder. Ouch! Cried Sam. Something bit me. Ouch! Yelled Jane. Something bit me too. Uh-oh.
Why are they in a pool with no water?
Oh, now they're on camping. That was yeah. This is.
This family needs some help.
Oh no! Look, it's a bunch of mosquitoes! Yelled Sam. They jumped up and down and ran around. They waved their arms, but the mosquitoes would not go away. Let's put out the fire, whispered Sam. They'll never find us in the dark. Yeah, here we go. They put out the fire and they sat down on a rock. A mosquito flew by, then disappeared. It was as quiet as a graveyard. They're gone, whispered Jane. I think so, whispered Sam. Then some fireflies, look at this, apropos, fireflies flew by. Oh no, Sam groaned, they're back.
Uh-oh.
And now they're looking for us with flashlights.
Help us.
It's actually very cute. I am legitimately enjoying this without making fun of this, but good God. Good Lord. Chapter 3. Oh, here we go. Mr. Brown washes his underwear. I could take some cues from him.
That's
Mine.
good. And
yeah.
we jumped in a pool with nothing, so...
On Saturday, Mr. Brown washed his dirty clothes, his socks, his shirts, and his underwear. You can see the little brown streaks all over it there. Let's see. Then he hung them up in the backyard, and he hung the underwear in the apple tree. Oh my God, look. No, these are not tomatoes, potato, they're apples. I promise you. When the wind blew, the underwear waved its arms and kicked its legs, and it looked like a dancing ghost. Yeah. After supper that night, Mrs. Brown looked out the window. There's a man in the apple tree, she told Mr. Brown. Well, don't worry, he said. I'll scare him away.
Oh, God.
Mr. Brown went into the yard. He called out, Who are you? What do you want? Nobody answered. He called out again, Who are you? What do you want? Again, nobody answered. So Mr. Brown got angry. You are very rude not to answer me, he shouted. Still, no answer. So Mr. Brown picked up a ripe tomato.
Uh-oh.
Oh my God. No, don't waste it. Put my mouth there. All right. Potato be ready to catch the tomato that he's hurling. He threw it at the man in the tree. And then he threw another, and another, and another, and another. That will show you, he shouted. And another. The next morning, he went outside to get his clothes. Well, when he got to the apple tree, he was very surprised. His underwear was covered with squashed tomatoes, and it was dripping tomato juice. Wow, he said. I'm really lucky I wasn't wearing that underwear. Then you really lucky I wasn't wearing that underwear. I think this is the last, God help us, this might be the last chapter. Jane grows a carrot. And no, I don't think she's becoming transgender. I think this is literal, not metaphoric. Jane and Sam were walking home from school. I have a secret to tell you, said Jane. I won't tell anybody, said Sam. There's a carrot in my ear, said Jane. It's been growing there all week. That is very strange, said Sam. How did that happen? I don't know, said Jane. I planted radishes.
God help us.
I'm going to be teaching English next semester. Should I teach this book?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I think I should. Last chapter, I hope to God, Grandpa buys, yeah, you know where this is going. Grandpa buys a pumpkin egg. After breakfast, Grandpa took a long walk.
Grandpa was swimming in a pool
With no water, yeah. So Grandpa, he takes long walks and then they have to find the cops to get him 2 miles out of town. He was in front of the grocery store and he saw a big pile of pumpkins. What are those big round things? He asked the grocer. And she smacked him. And then he said, don't you know? I don't think so, said Grandpa. The grocer smiled. The grocer told him, quote, they are horse eggs, he said.
Oh, God.
Put one in a sunny place and sit on it for a day and a night, and it will hatch a baby horse. I bet Sam would like one, Grandpa thought. Okay, he said, give me the biggest one. They're kind of cruel in this town, aren't they? When Grandpa got home, he put the pumpkin in his backyard, and he went to the kitchen. What? He went in the kitchen and he got a chicken leg, a hard-boiled egg, some jelly beans, and some lemonade. Now I won't get hungry, he said.
Poor Grandpa.
Well, he sat on the pumpkin and he waited. And he sat all day and he sat all night. But the next morning he was so tired he fell asleep. Oh, and he fell off the pumpkin. When that happened, the pumpkin started rolling down the hill. It rolled and rolled until it crashed into a bush where a rabbit was sitting. It's getting complicated. When the pumpkin rolled in, the rabbit jumped out and started running. Grandpa saw the rabbit and he got really excited. He said, come back, little horse. Come back.
Oh, my Lord.
But the rabbit kept running.
Because it's a rabbit.
Because it's a, yeah. Grandpa went to see the grocer again. I want my money back, he said. Why? Asked the grocer. Well, said Grandpa, the egg hatched okay, but the baby horse ran away.
Oh. None of those things are true.
Yeah. We got one more. We actually do have one more short chapter here. Thank goodness. It is time to go to sleep. If you've been staying awake through this book, it is time to go to sleep. It's 10 o'clock, Mrs. Brown called out. Time to go to sleep. I am taking my ruler to bed, said Sam. I want to know how long I sleep. Please tell me that's the end. No, it's not. I'm taking my bicycle to bed, said Jane. because I'm tired of walking in my sleep.
Yes, just ride the pumpkin like
Yeah,
your grandfather.
right, yeah. Well, I'm taking my running shoes to bed, said Mr. Brown. Last night I dreamed the bear was chasing me. I don't want him to catch me.
Good.
Yeah, sure, okay, this is all. And Grandpa said,
Was Grandpa on like LSD?
yes, because Grandpa says, I'm taking my mirror to bed.
Oh, Jesus.
I want to see how I look while I'm asleep.
Yes, of course.
Oh,
That
dear
makes
God.
sense, yeah.
And Mr. Brown said to Mrs. Brown, put the light out and come to bed. So Mrs. Brown put the light out and came to bed, and they all went to sleep. By the way, this is an author's note. Each tale in this book is based on an older noodle tale. The Browns Take the Day Off is from an American story of the 1940s and 50s called Little Moron. There was so much more politically incorrect back in the day. These are Little Moron stories. Probably in the 20s, it was like Pollock stories. Sam and Jane Go Camping is from a Firefly tale told in Europe and America. Mr. Brown Washes His Underwear is based on a story about the famous Turkish noodle Hoca Nasreddin.
Yes.
Jane Grows a Carrot is from an American vaudeville joke. And Grandpa Buys a Pumpkin Egg is based on the mare's egg, traditionally told in Europe and America. Time to Go to Sleep is drawn from 5 different noodle tales, including Little Moron stories, a tale from ancient Greece, and other tales from Europe and America, which were adapted by Alvin Schwartz with pictures by Karen Ann Winehouse. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a carrot in my ear and other noodle tales. How did you like the book, dear? Did
I
you?
didn't understand the majority of what you were saying.
I know. It's yeah, which is par for the course on this show. Dave's gone by with me, Dave Lefkowitz, my darling, wonderful, and amazing wife. That was the Storytime segment. Tell me a story. Tell me a. We can't play the Teresa Brewer original because no, it wasn't Teresa Brewer. It was Frankie Lane, I think, who did the song. But then we got dinged with copyright, so I'll just sing it for you. Tell me a story, tell me a story, tell me a story, remember what you said. You gotta give in, you said you would. You gotta give in. I screwed up the lyrics, but okay. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. And speaking of music, coming up in the show, we have a brand new song called The First Time Ever. We'll also have our Colorado Limerick of the Damned, our Friends of the Daverhood, and Bunion Watch. So, I think we need to ask the magic. And we have Rabbi Sol Solomon's Rabbinical reflection. So let's see what we should do next. Should we do? Stop it. I gotta ask the question first. Hon, what segment should we consider doing next?
Probably the video one, right? You said the video.
Okay, well, we have Rabbi Sol Solomon's Rabbinical reflection on a lousy coffee shop in Brooklyn, New York. Should that be our next?
Song, right?
Oh, well, which one? Song or Rabbi Sol? Because I can't ask her an either or. It's got to be a yes or no.
Do the whatever you pick.
All right, well, let's see. Should Rabbi Sol, who's been chafing in the wings on this Shabbos, go next? She doesn't want to tell us now.
Do one more.
All right. So should it be our song? The First Time Ever. Oh, not the song. Not the song. Should we do Friends of the Daverhood next? Not a doubt. Okay. So the Friends of stop it! Friends of the Daverhood are people who have been on this program over our 23 and a half years. We don't have a special guest on this particular show, but week after week we have wonderful guests who visit the Daverhood, celebrities, non-celebrities, brilliant, cool, funny, smart, creative folks who share with us and with Rabbi Sol Solomon. We call them the Friends of the Daverhood, and we keep tabs on them. They were on the program, let's say, 5 years ago. What are they up to now? Our friends of Don't have any Beethoven. Let's do some Haydn. Where? Oh, we do have. Wait, hold on. I just got to pull this over. There we go. Maybe some. No, I don't. This is annoying. Oh, no, we don't have Beethoven. So I'll go with Franz Joseph Haydn for our theme music. All right, our friends of the Daverhood for this particular week or weekend on Dave's Gone By, shout outs and just letting you know what they've been up to. For example, on playing Just One More Day today, if you're out in Houston, Texas, Randy Packer, my old high school director of the play I was in when I was in high school, is directing a show called Describe the Night from a company called The Company on Stage in Houston. So if you happen to be in Houston, Texas, you can go see that one more night. Playing now through tomorrow, it's your last weekend to catch the off-Broadway show Girl Interrupted with a score by Amy Mann. That is at the Public Theater over on Lafayette Street. Yeah. Also playing just through this weekend, Tanya Pinkins is in the Encores revival.
Want to hear it? My wife told me I named my horse Mayo. Mayonnaise. What do you call a fat psychic? Anyone want to buy a broken barometer? No pressure. Did you know that 97% of the world is stupid? Luckily, I'm the other 5%. I've got this awful disease where I can't stop telling airport jokes. The doctor says it's terminal.
Thank you for sharing that. La Cage aux Folles, the delightful Jerry Herman musical and Harvey Fierstein musical. They're reviving that in a small way over at Encores at City Center. Tanya Pinkins is part of the cast there. On Monday, Linda Eder is at 54 Below. And then starting on Tuesday and running through late July, Melissa Manchester is appearing in the musical Cagney at the Bay Street Theater in Sag Harbor, New York. On Wednesday the 1st, Stephen Sater, he's announced that he has a new CD out. It's a concept CD for a musical that they want to get produced called Murder at the Gates. So they're hoping to get the CD out there, show people the music, and then people are going to want to produce the show, Murder at the Gates. Now through the end, or towards the end of July, Ruben Santiago Hudson is on Broadway in Joe Turner's Come and Gone. That's at the Barrymore Theater. You can hear Tova Feldshuh's voice in a new musical called A Walk on the Moon that they're doing at the Laura Pels Theater off Broadway. Debbie Gravit is on Broadway in Just in Time at the Circle in the Square Theater. Anne Harada is in the Tony-winning musical Schmigadoon at the Nederlander Theater. And Andre de Shields is in the Tony-winning musical Cats, the Jellicle Ball at the Broadhurst Theater. Evan Seplow is the founder and editor of StageBuddy.com. Vicky Quaddy, she does shows out in Chicago, including Are You Smarter Than Your 8th Grade Nun? David Sheward writes theater reviews for CulturalDaily.com, TheaterLife.com, and TotalTheater.com. That's the one you should go to first. And then Eva Heineman, she hosts High Drama, a show all about theater reviews with Charlie Gross and Leslie Hoban Blake also hosting the theater review show Two on the Aisle. You can watch both these programs on YouTube. And those, my friends, are the friends of the Daverhood. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's about 11:15 Eastern Time in the Daverhood here in Northern Maryland. You're watching Dave's Gone By with me, Dave Lefkowitz, our 1038th episode of the show, with more to come. For example, let's see, what shall we do? What shall we do next? We have a couple of options still. Basically, we've got Rabbi Sol's Rabbinical Reflection on the coffee shop, and we've got the Colorado Limerick of the Damned, and we've got our song, The First Time Ever. Shall I ask the crystal ball, babe?
Of course, you love it.
Should we do the evil and disgusting, well, no, it's not evil, it's kind of sweet in a kinky, horrible way. Their new song, the first time ever. Oh, all right, we'll wait for that one. Not going to happen. Should we do the Rabbi? Jesus Christ, this thing. All right. Well, that leaves one more thing. Should we do our Colorado Limerick of the Damned? Oh, seems certain, right? Did she say that?
Yes.
Seems certain. So our Colorado Limerick of the Damned. We usually save this for the tail end of the show. But today, we're going to do it right now. My wife and I lived in Colorado for a bit over a decade. And while we were there, I decided to write poems about as many towns, cities, little unincorporated communities, as many places as I possibly could in Colorado and turn them into limericks, but limericks that were tasteless, dirty, filthy, disgusting, evil, and sad, because that is my way. That's why we call them Colorado Limericks of the Damned. And this week, we go to a place called Copper Mountain, Colorado. I'm going to give you a little bit of information about it and then read you this week's ditty.
A limerick is a comic verse of 5 lines, in which lines 1, 2, and 5 end with words that rhyme, and likewise verses 3 and 4 also end with words that rhyme. So this is a limerick.
Rocky Mountain.
Colorado, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, we go for our bit of high-level poetry, my friends, our Limerick of the Damned. Now, Copper Mountain, Colorado, let me tell you a bit about it. It is an unincorporated community in aptly named Summit, Colorado. It's in central Colorado, slightly northwest part of the state. It's 51 square miles, slightly under 2 miles high. And it's getting bigger. It's got a growing population. In 2010, there were 400 people in Copper Mountain. Now, 5-6 years ago, there were 650 people living there. So it's one of the few places that isn't a ghost town or that is dwindling. This is getting bigger and bigger. Now, back in 1880, the town was first named Wheeler after a local judge. In 1972, the Copper Mountain Ski Resort opened, and in 1977, they filed to change the whole name of the town to Copper Mountain instead of Wheeler, and it took, and they did. The ski resort there hosts the Stifel Copper Cup for alpine skiing. You know that, right? And then they have a lot of places to eat because it was a destination place if you're rich and you ski. So they've got Downhill Dukes, Jack's Slopeside Bar, the Nowhere Pizza and Pub. Where are you going? Nowhere. Sugar Lips Mini Donuts, and of course, Sweet Soy. These are places to eat in Copper Mountain, Colorado. If you want to live there, there's some real estate on sale, couple of houses, but mostly it's condos. It's that kind of community. And if you wear a condo, you know how they take the pleasure away. So, that is Copper Mountain, Colorado. They're already on the map, but I'm going to solidify their place on the map, on the GPS, by reading you a poem, a limerick about it. And you want to probably take the children out of the room for this one. It's it's filthy, as it should be. Wait, let me grab my beverage. Colorado Limerick of the Damned, Copper Mountain, Colorado. My girlfriend just loves Copper Mountain. We go there so much, I've stopped counting. I know it sounds corny, but heights make her horny. And Jesus, she comes like a fountain. Yeah. My wife, as usual, is shaking her head because she's married to the man who wrote that. Copper Mountain, Colorado. If you have any issues or problems with the Colorado Limerick of the Damned or anything else on this program, remember that you can contact me, Dave's Gone By, at AOL.com. DAVESGONEBY. Dave's Gone By at AOL.com. Also, if you're watching this live on Facebook or later on Facebook, you can message me there or even post your messages under the shows or under our old archives on Facebook. So yeah, just Dave's Gone By at AOL.com or on Facebook. I love to hear from you, whether it's just a thumbs up or an emoji or stop it, or a laughing thing, or a real note or a message or suggestion or a comment. It's the interaction. It's the reason I do it. It's the reason every Saturday for 23 and a half years. Well, I mean, I used to be on Monday night and Thursday night. There were other nights, but at least for the past 15 years or so, we've been here Saturday mornings entertaining you as best we can with Dave's Gone By. So, Dave's Gone By at AOL.com to write to me. You can also follow us on X.com. It's Radio Dave 2 is our handle there, Radio Dave and the number 2. Or if you want to follow Rabbi Sol Solomon, who's going to be on the show very shortly, it's at Rabbi Sol Solomon, SOLOMON. Lots of ways to stay in touch with the program and with me. All right, it's 25 after 11 Eastern time. We're rolling through things now. We've got bunches of things to do, but we're getting through them. We're getting done with them. Let's see. What else do we want to... we have left, because we've done a few things in just the last few minutes, but we still have our new song or Rabbi Sol on the coffee shop. Which one should I ask about, hon? Oh, stop! I can't even touch the thing.
Pick the one you pick, whichever.
All right, well, my throat can use a break, so let's see if Rabbi Sol can go next.
One more.
I'm going to kill this woman. All right. Because she can't tell us now, so should...
Saying, what about now?
Or, hey, what about now? All right, no. We're going to say Rabbi Sol...
doesn't mean no. It just means doubtful. Try one more.
To me, it means no. We're going to do...
Try one more.
All right. We're going to do, again with the rabbi?
Should David rest his voice?
Should David rest his voice and put the rabbi on for a couple of minutes? Now it's certain. My God. Yeah. They say women change their minds minute to minute, but this woman, I don't. All right, stop! All right, fine. Here we go. So, Rabbi Sol Solomon, who was on our very first episode of Dave's Gone By many, many years ago, back in 2002, since then, he does most of our interviews. He also does these things called Rabbinical Reflections. They're mini sermons where for a couple of minutes he looks at the state of the world and talks about it from a Jewish point of view. Sometimes it's a Jewish topic. Sometimes he just tells jokes. Sometimes it's a topic that's out in the greater world. You never know what he's going to talk about. And he's done this. This is going to be the 211th Rabbinical Reflection by Rabbi Sol Solomon. You can read all his older ones at his website, shalomdammit.com. There's also links to him speaking them, audio, and then later on the videos. We do have video of Rabbi Sol with his latest reflection. So wait, let me just get that ready. And I'm going to share my screen so that I can bring up Rabbi Sol Solomon's. I thought I had it up already, but I guess I got to open it again. Here we go. Take a moment. There we go. So, without further ado or don't, big in the news this week, reported by the New York Post and then reported by a whole bunch of other sources. There was a controversy started by this guy at a coffee shop in Brooklyn, New York. I don't want to say the name of it too much because I don't want to give them publicity. But the thing was they refused to serve a Jewish American congressman who was running actually in the primaries this past week, or they did serve him, and when they realized who he was, they refunded his money and told him not to come back because he's pro-Israel. and he votes that way, and he presumably pushes for things like AIPAC ones. Well, the owner of this coffee shop was so proud of his little social justice statement that he even posted the message on Facebook. You know, not trying to tamp it down, not trying to say, look, I had a bad morning, I was pissed off. No, he's out there on Facebook declaring his anti-Semitism to the world because he knows that the hipsters and, you know, the nose piercers and all those people are going to be in his corner and saying, oh, dirty, bad Israel, woo, 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 woo. Well, you can imagine Rabbi Sol has his thoughts about all this. Here is his 211th rabbinical reflection, Bad Coffee. Shalom, damn it! This is Rabbi Sol Solomon with a rabbinical reflection for the end of June 2026. What the hell has happened to coffee? Wasn't so long ago that if you wanted a morning brew in New York, there'd be a guy in a cart, and for $1 he'd hand you a fresh Folgers with cream and 2 sugars, napkins, a donut, and a tip on the 3rd race at Belmont. Okay, maybe that was so long ago. For decades, we've grown inured to the Starbucking of America. Jackie Mason said it best when he warned us, coffee in a coffee shop, 60 cents with cream. At Starbucks, it's cafe latte, $3.50. Each French word costs another $4. No tables, no chairs, no busboy. You have to clean up, and it's burnt coffee. If you get burnt coffee at a coffee shop, you call a cop. But when it's burnt at Starbucks, it's a blend. But at least Starbucks, which became a global powerhouse when led by a proudly Jewish CEO, stays mostly out of politics. 3 years ago, some of the unionized workers got mouthy about Gaza, but that simply triggered the most Jewish result of all, competing lawsuits. Since then, Starbucks has been extremely careful to say, we don't support Israel. We don't not support Israel. We have stores all over Arabia, but the terrorists don't get gift cards. Like Switzerland in World War II, Starbucks' neutrality is disingenuous and cowardly, but at least they didn't join the other side like the French and Italians. Nowadays, however, self-righteous identity politics is everything. It's not enough to sell an $8 mochaccino to some Gen Z schmuck. You also have to treat them to your Instagram-based musings on social justice. It shouldn't surprise us that coffee pourers think they're experts on decolonization. The whole point of coffee is decolonizing, getting the crap out of our colons. But a different kind of crap is being served up at one Java shop in Brooklyn, Poetica Coffee, which is run by a jerk named Parviz Muhammadkulov. And I wish this Mohammedan would cool off. Poetica refused to serve a pro-Israel Jewish politician. The store wrote on its official Facebook page, "Hey, Congressman Dan Goldman, do you see how our coffee doesn't taste like genocide juice? Here at Poetica, we don't serve genocide enablers. We issued you a refund. Your money's probably coming from AIPAC anyway. Don't ever come to Poetica." Unquote. Obviously, this Parviz guy is chock full of nuts. But he's getting away with this garbage. Hordes of Brooklyn millennials who fancy themselves baby Nelson Mandelas are cheering this douche nozzle as he sells his rancid Robustas and gives only the Arabs Arabica. You gotta love a coffee shop that creams itself over equal rights while denying a customer equal rights. Tuesday's primaries showed the New York Democratic Party moving even further towards radical anti-Semitism. So, Poetica's perversion should not shock us. Still, the gall of this guy's blatant Israel bashing that crosses way past altruism into straight-up Jew hate can be met only with incredulity and rage. I am heartened by the counter-protesters who staged a pro-Israel, anti-Mamdani rally outside Poetica, telling those progressos to drown in their espressos. I am disheartened by Congressman Goldman losing in the primary to Jewish capo Brad Lander, a bleeding heart socialist who parrots all Hamas's talking points about the horrors of Zionism. You know, he'll be getting free refills from the eyebrow-piercing crowd. But the funniest part of all this, and none of this is funny, is that when Poetica refunded Dan Goldman's cup of coffee and tip, because yes, Jews do tip, he got back $9.82. That's nearly $10 for heated brown water, and people pay it. So, here's my idea. The most expensive coffee in the world is called Kopi Luwak. That's the one where an Asian cat called a civet eats the coffee beans and then excretes them. Supposedly, the bowel movements taste fantastic with non-dairy creamer. Well, Parvies, let me go the civets one better. I will eat a dozen coffee beans, then climb up on your counter and shit into your mouth and down your throat. The flavor will be rich, distinctive, and, if you have an enema handy, sustainable. Oh, sure, you might choke to death, and that would be poetic and Poetica justice. This has been a rabbinical reflection from Rabbi Sol Solomon, Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York. Good to the last plop. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The one, the only, the Jewish Rabbi Sol Solomon here on Dave's Gone By. And it's about 11:30, a little after 11:30 in the morning Eastern Time. By the way, if you want to get a hold or see more of Rabbi Sol, again, his website is shalomdammit.com, DAMMIT, shalomdammit.com. That is where you can not only see his rabbinical reflections and the interviews he does for this program, but also video of his stage show that he did off Broadway, as well as 10 episodes of his hilarious television program that aired on Long Island Cable called Shalom Dammit, Rabbi Sol Solomon's Peace, Love, and Acid Reflux Hour. I'm going to keep sharing the screen because I have one more thing to share with you on this episode of the program. Going to open that up too. It's a brand new song, as we were talking earlier in the show. Came to me this week, or actually I think it was honestly last week when it came to me, and I didn't have time to work on it until this week. But one night I was just trying to get to sleep, and I thought of the classic, beautiful, romantic love song, The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face, which we all know from the Roberta Flack version on her First Take album. Just perfect, glorious version. The song is much older than that. It was written in 1957 and performed by Ewan McCall for his wife, Peggy Seeger. So, the song's been floating around for years and years and years, not quite in public domain, but we can parody it, and for no good reason. I was like, oh, because the title came to me first, and then everything followed in like a day or two. So, The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face became The First Time Ever. That is what I've named it. But, well, it tells another kind of romantic story, a much more physical and intimate kind of romance. Again, kindly get the kids out of the room as we share, debuting on Dave's Gone By, The First Time Ever. First time ever I rode your face, I felt your tongue move on my gland, so I shoved both balls I came at your command, my love. The first time ever I rimmed with you, I felt your thoughts stinging my eyes, but I held your hips and I moved my lips while my tongue you fertilized my love. The first time ever I fisted you, I lost my class ring in your crevasse, but I fit my arm and my elbow too, till you screamed, you own my ass, my love. The first time ever I rode your face, your face, your face, your face. Yeah. Once again, I will repeat the email address where you can send comments and complaints. It's davesgoneby@aol.com. By the way, if you want to hear more songs, why would you want to hear more songs like that? But if you want to hear other tunes like it or that song again, remember that all the archives are at davesgoneby.com. We've been doing a lot of songs this year. Maybe because it's the summer, I had a little bit more free time. So if you missed Make Your Duty last week, that's up there. Also a bunch of the rest of the songs going all the way back to the beginning of the show. Check them out, davesgoneby.com. And there's a second, an archive where you can click on songs and it'll bring them all up. By the way, also, if you like my songwriting, and why wouldn't you, you can read all of my song lyrics, even of tunes that I haven't recorded or done, little homemade DIY things like that. You can go to davelefkowitz.org, davelefkowitz.org. Now, that is a different website from davesgoneby.com. The Dave's Gone By one is, of course, for this show, for archives and stuff about this program. But davelefkowitz.org is an omnibus website specifically devoted to my written work, articles that I wrote for Long Island Woman and Long Island Pulse and Show Business and Backstage and Playbill, interviews I've done with famous people, news items about the theater and the arts. There's also essays that I've written, not to mention all my song lyrics, not to mention all my one-act plays and full-length plays, and a couple of screenplays are on there. davelefkowitz.org is my writing website, and I do hope that you will check it out. We also, I always forget to, or never remember to tell you, our other little locations with basically the same information you get off this Facebook page or at davesgoneby.com. But we do have an Instagram page, and that is david.lefkowitz. We also have a Blue Sky account, which is Dave's Gone By. And those are the main. We don't have a TikTok. We probably should. or I don't know what else the kids are watching or scrolling or listening to these days. But, we try and be out there as much as we can. The main thing is for you guys to tell the folks that hey, there's this insane program that's been going on for almost a quarter century, hosted by this Jewish guy named Dave Lefkowitz. He does songs, he does skits, he does weird little poems, he talks about the world. He's got the rabbi coming on there. He does interviews with all these kinds of people. You might want to just check it out or check out some older shows, which again, davesgoneby.com, archive.org, Spotify, or for the audio files only, you've got castbox.fm. Well, we've actually, I was going to say we've done all the major things that we need to do, except to maybe banter a little bit about some other stuff in the news this week. But oh my God, you know what I haven't done? I'm going to ask you, hon, this week compared to like last week and the weeks before, how do you think my bunions are? Oh, I'm a man only a wife could love, and she even loves my bunions. So this is going to be the comparison point. I'm going to put this next to my foot, and you're going to see my bunion up against this to see how big either one is. So let me get up on the chair here. I'll move this out of the way so I don't get hurt. All right, I'm going to leave the socks on because amazingly enough, a lot of times bunions are easier to see with socks on than on my naked foot. I'm like, ooh, I still have nice calves, Not bad. But here's my foot, and there's that curvaceous, bulbous bunion. Now I'm going to put this here. I'm going to lower this a little bit more. Ooh. And probably shouldn't have my papers here that are white, so now you'll really see it. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the curvature. I don't think it's gotten bigger or worse. I've been wearing a new pair of shoes that are really, really great, but those haven't done anything bad to my foot. They're not rubbing in the wrong way. They're giving me an insole that I haven't had for a very long time. Very, very happy with these Skechers shoes, but they're not affecting my bunion in any kind of negative way. The bunion is, of course, on the right, this side of your screen here. This is the bunion tester. Now this is my left foot bunion, which is smaller than my right foot bunion, but still fairly sizable. It's the reason a lot of times when I was buying shoes, I could wear a 7.5 on one foot and an 8 on the other, because my left has a smaller bunion. So we're going to encompass this. Now, I don't want to break the desk by standing on top of it, so you can see both feet. I wonder if we can get down to the chair and do both feet at once. I don't think that's not going to happen. Okay, it's all right. This, ladies and gentlemen, has been the June 27th, 2026 edition of Bunion Watch here on Dave's Gone By. So I hope you appreciated the magic, the beauty, the artistry of my foot bunions.
Bones and bunions, big as onions, corn and bunions on each toe.
Beautiful, beautiful there. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is 11:45 Eastern Time in the Daverhood. We're basically about ready to head on out of here and start our day, or our day off the air. Hope you guys are too. Let's see, what is there to talk about? Want to mention, it's one of those bands that you don't mind when they come on the radio. It's very catchy. You remember the songs. But at the same time, it's not a band that you would listen to, but Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Remember them? Yeah. It's like spinning wheel, spinning round, to drop. And there are a couple of other really, really catchy hits in the 1970s. Always used to be coming on the radio and coming on CBS FM. But is it David or Adam I should have looked this up and written it down. I thought I did. But the lead singer of Blood, Sweat, and Tears did pass. David Clayton-Thomas. He died at the age of 84.
Did you interview him?
Early. No. I never thought about it. I really should have. He wasn't there. The interesting thing was he wasn't the founder of the band. He kind of came into it a year or two in, but then he became the driving force. He became the raison d'etre of Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Just looking up the wiki on him. He was born in Canada. Oh no, sorry, he was born in England, but I was partially Canadian. And I had no idea about this. One of our friends in the Daverhood, Judy Collins, she's been interviewed on the show twice. She heard him singing at a club, and then she told a friend about him. That friend had been in a band that had broken up, but then they got together when they brought this guy in, David Clayton-Thomas, and once he came into the band, they released their second album, even though everybody thinks it's their first, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, sold 10 million copies, because it had You've Made Me So Very Happy, and When I Die, God Bless the Child, and of course Spinning Wheel. So BS&T then became kind of an oldies act, and I don't know how long he stayed with them. He left by 1972.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was not that long. And then he did a ton of solo work, and I don't know if they ever reappeared or if they're in the Rock and Roll Hall. They probably should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But yeah, he has almost a dozen albums under his own name. Last one being called Say Something on the label Antoinette. But gotta say a farewell to David Clayton-Thomas, because again, like when was the last time you thought of any Blood, Sweat, and Tears song? But if I tell you Spinning Wheel, it's immediately in your head. Da 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 da. The great brass that they have. So farewell to him. What else did I do? Let's see. I read a book. I guess I should have read when I was a kid. I finally finished Lorna Doone, which we honestly is amazingly we don't know if Lorna Doone cookies were specifically inspired by the book Lorna Doone, which was a historical romance written back in the mid to late 1800s by this guy named R.D. Blackmore. It was actually 1869. Yeah, it's a pretty decent story. It's Hatfields and McCoys, and this really soppy kind of, the most perfect, beautiful woman ever is loved by this, handsome, broad-shouldered guy who can do all sorts of things, like almost an Inspector Gadget of the 1860s. But she is being raised by this family that kidnapped her, and it's they're a whole bad family that did bad things, and he's got to go find her and loves her, and there's a lot of good stuff in it, and there's some exciting stuff in it. There's also a lot of prose. There's also a lot of writing where just get on with it, and he's one of those, kind of like Mark Twain back in the day when some characters are speaking in dialect. He writes out the dialect. Not phonetically, but the way they would talk with apostrophes and dashes and bad spelling, which makes it, you try and get through the reading of the dialogue, but there's so much that's trying to be authentic that
I did say the cookies from her.
Oh, it does say
it's from AI, but I haven't seen anything, so.
Introduced by Nabisco in 1912, it would make sense. Lorna Doone cookies are butterfly shortbreads that take the name from the classic novel from 1869 by R.D. Blackmore. Nabisco was, I can find this. They were looking for a memorable name. A popular origin story, so they can't prove this, is that Nabisco executive Earl Bapst visited Scotland and Exmoor, the setting for the book. And his guide noted that they were in Lorna Doone country. And since shortbread was a Scottish delicacy, and the book back then, the book has never been out of print, was required reading. The character's name was selected to symbolize a heritage of romance and high-quality baking, because she was also like a great homemaker, and also she was apparently breathtakingly sweet and beautiful, as is a shortbread Lorna Doone. So ultimately, if you ask me, would I rather have a cookie or read the book again, I'm going with the cookies. But it wasn't a bad reading. There's some exciting passages, and there's a bad guy, Carver Doone, and there's a shocking moment towards the end of the book where you're like, oh my God, does she die? Spoiler alert, almost, but not quite so. Anywho, Lorna Doone. I've also been reading, speaking of hot women, Robbie Robertson's memoir that was published posthumously. He wrote one that was very celebrating and acclaimed, all about his years starting the band and touring with Bob Dylan and the band. And I got to go get that one. But his next one is called Insomnia, which is just covering about 2 years in his life when he was he was separated from his wife Dominique, and it's like crashing about and figuring, hey, my friend Martin Scorsese has this amazing place out on the coast, so they become roommates and buddies and alcohol and drug buddies. I mean, they did a tremendous amount of substance abuse together, unfortunately. And it was also around the time when they were cutting and finishing and piecing together The Last Waltz, which was the concert film that Scorsese did, I guess in '78, of the band's big final last concert where Joni Mitchell and Neil Young and famously Van Morrison and Muddy Waters and Neil Diamond. So it's a concert film, but also a bit deeper than that because it captures these artists saying farewell and also on the borderline of exhaustion and drug dependency. So it goes deeper than just, oh, they're doing this song, right? And it's considered one of the best concert rock movies of all time. So in the midst of Scorsese putting this together and also deciding whether or not he's going to go and make his next movie, Raging Bull, because Robert De Niro's dropping in and out, Robertson is trying to figure out what the hell he wants to do with his life. He's out of the band. He doesn't know if he wants to he's doing some music scoring for other things, but he's not sure he wants to be a solo artist. He's considering acting because apparently this guy was just, handsome and catnip to women. And they wanted to cast him in everything, and he apparently has this presence in the movie The Last Waltz, where everybody who sees it, he's like a star. He's got magnetism, animal magnetism, whatever it is. And if I tell you, this guy, when he had his freedom from marriage, or whatever you want to call it, he was just sleeping with everyone and everything, and the level of actors within like a 1 month period, he was banging Jennifer O'Neill, French actress Carole Bouquet, Tuesday Weld, and Geneviève Bujold. They're just all falling into bed with him, and he's a good-looking guy. I'm not sure I quite get it. What did he have that I don't know. I don't know. All I know is just like you're just turning the pages going, he's a man who could go into a bar or a room or a party or a hotel lobby and women would just go like mayflies on the sign, just to Robbie Robertson. Whatever, well, I mean, I don't envy him at this point because he died. Last year, the book, or 2 years ago, the book came out posthumously. He is a good writer. And this is kind of nice to say. It's very, very readable, very honest, detailed, open style. He's been known for years and years of having quite an ego.
Robbie Robertson.
And putting himself in a good light, whether it's when he was with the band or in the movie or whatever it is. And there's a sense of him being quite arrogant. I don't get it that much from the book. There are things that he basically takes for granted, and that is one, that he's been catnip to women, and that he's a good artist, and that he hobnobs with famous musicians all the time, and that he's rich, but I really don't get that he's terribly narcissistic, or when he's writing about the way he was during that period, he is recognizing that he's not able to really connect or get into relationships or be in healthy relationships because he was so exhausted, because he was on such a mind trip, because he was doing so much cocaine and also drinking as well. So I don't know. Insomnia is a very good read. It's an incredibly readable read. You get a little jealous of him, of the party lifestyle and the rich life. I mean, he'd be living with Martin Scorsese in this house, and Francis Ford Coppola every week or two would send over a case of wine. Just say, hey, I've got my vineyard, have some wine. It's that lifestyle where you don't think about money because money's always there. You don't think about anything except getting to the next drug score. And also, when you sit down with a guitar, you make the music. And that, of course, is what it really is all about. So, yeah, a middle kind of thumb on Lorna Doone, thumbs up on Robbie Robertson's Insomnia. And I've been listening to Henry Winkler's autobiography in the car. So I'll probably talk about that one next. Oh, no, it's fun. It's good. I like it. Henry Winkler. Hey. Anyway, oh, my God. I thought we'd end this show about half an hour early because we didn't have an interview in it. Guess what? It's 11:57 Eastern Time in the Daverhood. We've done everything, but we've literally filled out an entire episode 1038 of the Dave's Gone By Facebookio Podcastio Programmio of the stream. Next week, which will be, All-American, July 4th in the Daverhood. It'll be our 1039th, picture a 9 under here, 39th episode of the Dave's Gone By show. So be sure to come back with us next Saturday, 9 until noonish or thereabouts, for another episode of this program. I want to thank so much all of you for watching. I want to thank my darling and adorable wife for helping me out with the noises, with the suggestions, with the ideas, as she always does. So thank you so much, hon. I absolutely want to wish my mom a very happy upcoming birthday. So love to you there. I was going to wish, this was going to be, when I woke up this morning, I was like, I got to decorate everything in like Americana and wear my 250th anniversary shirt. And then I was like, oh no. Next Saturday is July 4th.
Yes.
So I was kind of stepped it up a week early.
You were prepared.
But we'll have fun stuff, probably a very special guest on next week's program. Be with us for Dave's Gone By. Where else but in the Daverhood?
Days gone by, days gone by, there goes the neighborhood, it's gone by, there goes the neighborhood, it's gone by.
But you know the one thing that you have to do in the decoy museum so you don't get hurt?
What?
Duck!